All right, I believe we are live. Someone want to confirm quick?
It takes about 8 minutes for it to show up.
8 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, there's the echo. All right, welcome to Dragons in the Dining Room. DMLoxy presiding. Tonight is Nerevis, my homebrew, and it is technically session 1, as last session was kind of 0.5. Most people had characters together, but not fully. But thankfully they all have them ready by tonight. So we're going to do a quick run around the table just as a refresher. And then when you do so, also please, if you'd be so kind, give me your AC so I can confirm that I have that right. Thacko, let's start with you.
Hi, my name's Eric, and I'm going to avoid
Hi, Eric.
Hi, group.
Welcome to AA.
Okay.
AA in the dining room.
D&D Anonymous.
I have a problem.
I yell at plastic dice.
Because they don't give me the number that I want. Actually, it's A-E-R-I-K. It's Eric with a K.
Do you want to fight the Dread Gazebo, Eric?
You shoot it with an arrow, what happens?
Nothing, Eric. It's a gazebo.
I'm playing a dual class rogue ranger. Hey, Krabby.
Hey, Krabby.
Hey, Krabby.
You may
Hi, Weezy.
Eric has been around for freaking ever. I actually created him as an NPC who would work as for anybody who's familiar with Final Fantasy. He's the Sid of my D&D games, always shows up. He was in a previous game of Strahd and somehow managed to, he doesn't know this yet, but somehow managed to avoid death and is now in the world of Nerevis. He has an AC of 99.
And he just died somehow.
Disadvantage on you, disadvantage on your cow.
He doesn't
Cricky,
have
make a note.
He does have a raven. Does the raven get disadvantage?
No.
Because we like the Raven.
Nevermore. 15 AC, and my passives are also 15.
Okay, perfect.
Ladies first, by the way. Way to
Don't
go.
let the hair fool you.
Which one?
All of them. No vampire cows in this game.
Yes.
You know, it might happen.
Yes.
All right. So, Parisa, why don't you go next?
Okay, I am Parisa. I am playtesting a totally homebrewed class/race done by our lovely DM called the Loxlies.
Hey!
Oh, sorry.
And I have a surprise.
I thought I was the lovely DM.
I'm
I
sorry,
have a
what?
surprise for you in a moment.
You are lovely, Tim. Don't worry.
Okay.
So,
Shoot, I didn't grab the entire stack of Nerevis stuff. That's okay.
so Parisa technically doesn't have a class. Her race and class are combined for what she is.
For anybody who's familiar with older editions of Dungeons & Dragons, a Loxley is like the AD&D version of characters where your class and race are the same.
Yeah, that's actually a really good comparison.
Cool. I didn't know that actually. And her AC is 15.
Ooh.
Hello, I am Akathor. I am a monk of the Sun Soul. I don't know what kind of backstory you want. I was born and raised in this little monastery that we started our story in last 2 weeks ago. And the DM is going to love me because my AC is 19.
Nice.
Yeah, and I think that lends to your nickname that they'll find out about later.
Also, and for you, I am
Yeah.
going to, once you are comfortable with the Loxley, I'm
Yeah.
going to actually make the class on DDB.
That would be
Aww.
pretty sweet.
I was born in my class, molded by it. Krabby, I love you right now.
Where's that from?
Technically,
Molded by. Is
there's
that from Batman?
I think so.
I was
Two-
born in the darkness.
Molded by it.
Something like that.
and Batman actually borrowed it from an old oh gosh, Yul Brynner played the guy.
Awesome.
I totally know who that is.
Yul Brynner's the bald guy from The King and I. That's about as simple as I can
totally
give it
know
to
what
you.
that is.
Someone restore my faith in humanity, please.
What?
You know who Yul Brynner is?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you take a look back in the AD&D time frame, dwarves were not a race. Dwarves were a class. Good save. So yeah, it's
Wheezy, you saw that, right?
she's good with her hands.
I am too. I mean, I think it's just a girl thing.
Uh,
I love
we
you
do
too. You're
have
fine.
we do have a
You're
fourth-
pretty.
We do have a fourth player that will be showing up sooner or later.
Sooner or later. That's fine. For everyone else, I am actually going to show you a map of the world. A whole map.
It looks like that.
So that is the world of Nerevis.
I should
Um, And they are actually up in the. If I can hold it still here.
Steady. Steady.
They're up here in the mountains.
One of us is there,
Yeah, Eric's there.
and the rest of them are over there.
Yeah. And just to scale, like a half inch is 200 miles, so they're nowhere freaking near each other.
I'll get there tomorrow.
We're gonna go this whole whatever, however long this campaign lasts, without even ever bumping into each other.
It's gonna be like a Scooby-Doo game.
No.
We're good at
no.
that though. Actually, I think
I
the Dragon
know,
Knight
I'm-
group is better than that.
I'm a little torn because I just got the Descent into Avernus mod and was asked to run it at the local game store, and now I'm like, ooh, because I want to play it with this group too.
So what you're saying is that we're gonna magically teleport into a new world.
No,
Again.
no,
Eric's already done it once.
no. That's something we'll
I
talk
feel
about,
like
I think,
that.
going forward, seeing what days or what, but,
I feel like quantum leap.
Sorry. And I'm letting
so
you
we
decide.
are actually going to kick
I'm
up with,
surprised, though.
hi, we're going to kick up with Eric. Remind us what happened last session. Meanwhile, back at the ranch,
A dingo ate the baby.
the dingo actually did eat the baby.
Scientific study proved it.
Yes.
When
That
the
poor
game
lady.
started, I woke up and I was feeling kind of wonky. I can't remember much of anything other than I was standing in front of a flying angry thing, and then I woke up on my back in a place that I don't recognize, and there was an injured bird on my chest.
Yeah. It looked like it had a broken wing and a twisted leg.
So I
These broken wings.
missed
And
it.
learn to fly again.
Learn to stutter free. You shit, you still can't
Okay.
fly.
Oh,
Oh, that
That's
was
about par for course, to be quite honest. Oh, here, you're injured. Flop. Let me throw you off this cliff. You'll be fine. You'll figure it out.
you just need enough lift.
That's right. So, I patched up the bird as best I could and made my way west. On my way west, I took and created a place for me to rest. In the middle of the night, I woke up to some strange sounds and saw some odd-looking orcs with 3 children in tow tied to a tree that they were treating poorly.
And one of them was super vigilant.
And
Trogdor.
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 Trogdor the Vigilance.
Ah, good old Trogdor.
and
Bring him with you.
if I could,
He'll be our pet.
if I could, I garroted Trogdor till he fell asleep, and then absconded with the kids,
Whose names were?
not written down on my piece of paper.
Oh, advantage if anyone else remembers.
I remembered what he had for dinner. We weren't there, so how would we know their names?
I'm asking you as players that should have been paying attention to what was going on in the game.
I was paying attention, but I wasn't there.
That was also 2 weeks ago.
And it was 2 weeks ago, and I talked to a lot of people every freaking day.
Ooh,
Right.
okay, do you
Hi,
remember
Lizzie.
anything about the children?
There were 2 boys, 1 girl.
One liked animals, one was older, and the... Oh wait, I wasn't there.
There were 2 boys and 1 girl.
Yep.
The young girl was trying to take care of the bird, but not doing so well at it. She was also pretty decent at herbalism, or at least finding things to...
Yes.
The older boy...
I need a notebook, so keep talking.
The brother of William Cuthbert.
Yes! Ha!
Advantage!
You're getting there.
I was getting there.
Advantage for both of us then.
That's right. Go, come in.
Jim approved
You
it.
should probably say you're going to be late a little bit earlier.
I did. I sent it 20 minutes ago and it never went through.
Okay. You should probably get a new carrier.
Your dog sucks. That's how you would agree. Sorry.
I'm not going to talk to you when you're out of the room.
What the...
That's how fights start.
What were their damn names?
I don't remember.
I'm trying to remember.
Eeny, meeny, and miny.
No. That's...
No.
That's cheating. I know this will take too long at this point. Carissa, Melissa, and Barissa.
You know what, honey? It's just painful at this point. You should stop.
I got the last name of one of them.
One of the young boys had a stutter.
Yeah, I did, but it was okay.
And he
I'm
turned out...
I'm glad that's what you remember about me.
He turned out to be really good at finding edibles.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third young boy, who was the oldest of the 3, was the son of this Cuthbert guy.
Younger brother.
Either which way. And was heading west with us, leading us toward the city that he came from, which is a military outpost.
Do you remember the name of the military outpost?
Oh, heck no.
Fort Caitlicks.
You know what? You get advantage because you pay attention. You have advantage on any roll of your choice tonight.
Thank you. I wasn't there.
I
It's
don't
not that
care.
I wasn't paying attention, it's that I didn't take notes.
Ooh, that's a little dark. Yes. So we will get back to that later. Carissa and Akathor, give a quick rundown of where you guys were and what happened.
Well, we had
Impress me.
We had a lovely time.
Fucking Phil.
So Parisa, oh sorry, do you want to?
No, you go right ahead.
So
You
Parisa,
go right ahead.
I'll summarize as best I can, as short as I can, because that's how I roll. Parisa showed up at my monastery, or my temple, to Hylor.
His temple.
It is mine. I own it. Phil is a dick. I'm going to be escorting her to the city in the next day or 2, but for the meantime, she was hanging out, getting acclimated, and then we were hot tubbing it up, and Phil came and put his big old nose in my business, and I told him to F off.
So you also chose a
Weapon.
monk weapon.
I
What'd you
did.
choose?
I picked a super awesome quarterstaff.
Nice. All right. And just in case, it was Sean, Nathaniel, and Aurora.
I knew
That's
they had
right.
names.
Okay. No, I remembered that one of them had one of the Twitch names of one of our followers.
Yes. And
I remembered
Aurora
that all 3 had
said
names.
that well, that's mighty big of you. That they should name the raven Aria.
Yes.
I also asked my master, Maihu, I believe is how it was pronounced, if my weapon was magical or anything cool about it, other than being super awesomely made.
Ah, you chose the staff. Well, he informs you that yes, there is something quote unquote cool about this staff. As you spend time with it and train with it, it will grow with you and it will gain aspects of your personality.
It's going to be sarcastic and moody.
So Nathaniel, Aurora, and
Sean.
Sean.
Staff equals.
And
Now-
Sean was the one that was the older one.
Got it.
Yes.
And Nathaniel was the one that was the son of Cuthbert.
No.
No. Sean,
Sean,
was
brother.
younger brother of William Cuthbert. And he was leading you west to Fort Calyx and believed it was between 1 and 3 days. He said it was hard to tell because of the route that the ogres had taken.
That's fine.
All right, we are going to.
Do you want to do character introduction?
Hakuba, are you ready to introduce your not Hakuba?
Sure, at least by name.
Yeah, go for it.
So, hey guys, a new character here. Barbarian by the name of Rogeth Arctorius.
Wow, you're gonna have to spell that, and I like it.
That's awesome.
Rogeth, Rogeth, and Arctorius, Arctorius.
All right, and you are a barbarian,
So
which
far.
is good. And do you have your AC and race?
Human variant,
Ooh, that's sexy.
and AC with or without shield.
Both.
With shield 20, without shield 18. If I did
Nice.
the math correctly.
That
Well, if your AC is, good lord.
But
Yeah, he's an 18-20.
nice. So I'm gonna have a very, very, very hard to hit party as we have Akathor with a 19.
See, actually, all of our ACs are pretty decent.
Yeah, because yours
I think-
was.
You mean you were
Ours is the
15?
same.
We're both at 15. Yeah.
15.
15 is
But
pretty good.
even that's
It's a 75% chance to miss.
say that's pretty
Yeah,
good
well-
considering
But
Vistra's is a
25%
12.
chance to miss.
Depending on what they. Well, our Loromir characters are,
Squishy.
I think, not squishy, but because it was a point spread instead of a roll, we didn't have the same spread.
Discrepancies.
Yeah.
But I mean, even with the roll, I mean, Priest is a
Yes,
negative
0 to 12
one.
AC. I had 9. My sorceress had an AC of flipping 10. That sucked balls. She hit a lot.
I can't imagine why.
No, she didn't.
Well,
Well, it also doesn't
unless
help
someone
that
got in the way of the
would go
horses, then I
further.
blasted into lightning bolt.
Or they
Whip!
touched.
Well, huh?
If they touched Xanthip, you got all kinds of crazy too.
Until the end, and Xanthip like totally dismissed her. All right, so we are going to kick things off. I am going to come back to Rogeth. However, yeah. Well, you're getting that figured out. I'll come back to you.
Okay.
Akathor and Parisa, I'm going to start with you so Thaco can help bounce there a little bit. You
Kill Phil.
know, high or low?
High. Always high. I'm from California, baby. We're always high.
And it's legal there. That was a good call. So Phil, actually, for a moment, you see that flicker of you think he's gonna challenge you because he seems quite smitten with Parisa, and you realize that he's been in the monastery, so he doesn't have that familiarity with the Loxley charm.
Yeah. You're
Oh.
putting a spell on him with your
spell.
beauty and your good looks.
Yeah, I mean, Loxleys are very unique in their appearance. And he then decides the better of it and decides to swim away as you suggested.
Yeah, let's not start off the campaign with somebody interested in my character dying.
Wait, can Phil really quick ask her out and then I kill him and banish him? Just super quick.
We have to keep the thing going.
You know, after last night, I feel like both of us have been hit on enough that we are good with having a break.
Alright.
Because it only got worse after you left.
Seriously.
It wasn't divided attention anymore. Like, I hid.
I'm sorry.
When you go to a gaming event and you're like the only females in the room.
Which one was it? Huh?
The same one that was hitting on you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So this would be.
No, thank you.
No bueno.
No bueno.
No bueno.
No, that's... Did you even have to have an interview?
What?
Freaking Jose. Jose got a job at Taco Bell. Did you even have to interview, or did you just tell him, "Hi, my name is Jose"? Oh, you're hired.
I was really tired last night, and it came out without me thinking.
That's amazing.
Jose, if you're watching, I love you, and I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, it was a good night. It was a really good night. Pre-release for Magic the Gathering. It was great. So, back to D&D. Phil swims away. Is there anything else that you two want to do before you go to bed for the evening, as you know you depart the next morning on your journey towards Silas?
Is there anything cool I should show her that she hasn't already seen?
She's only seen...
I said cool, not impressive
Okay.
and magical.
I have to make a brief disclaimer, because if I don't, it's gonna keep coming up. When I describe things, I do get a bit verbose. I'm not gonna apologize for it. That is my DM style. I'm trying to be cognizant of not overkilling it, but I am more of a storyteller than I am a hack and slash person. So if you're looking for someone to read you a bedtime story, I'm your Huckleberry. If you're looking for a bunch of dungeon crawl combat damage, I'm sorry, you're fantastic and I love you, but I'm just not for you. So there is my disclaimer. Because there will be story portions of this where you guys get chunks of lore at a time. There. I actually now feel better about my life. So, yes, actually there's the murals when you first came in. You do know that there are other rooms that have murals and a lot of history, and there are some artifacts that are on display that aren't down in the vault.
If Parisa would like, I will just show her around and be a good tour guide.
Okay, I will accept that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose I better get used to spending time with him. I'm going to be spending the next, 2+ weeks with him. Minimum.
Yeah.
We'll see how long I live. Without angering the DM.
Yeah. Didn't realize that.
So she accepts, and you guys are going through the hallways. Parisa, roll me your choice.
Constitution.
History or religion? Or traditions.
I believe.
Acrobatics.
Your choice.
You're not there.
So you said
Mental
religion, history.
Religion, history, or traditions? Your choice.
Well, we are going to go with traditions.
Nerd.
Yeah.
Get it out now, baby.
Not
Get it
so
out
good.
now. It's okay.
12.
12?
Not bad.
As you're looking at these artifacts and murals, it strikes you as a little odd, as the lore seems, and some of the traditions surrounding, there's little plaques next to each artifact describing what they are and which god or goddess they're associated with. And the lore doesn't seem to match up with what you know.
Gotcha. So it's the...
It's like reading in Roman and Greek mythology side by side.
Mm-hmm.
So same, but different.
Yeah, and there's a couple variants in the stories themselves. As far as
Like, instead of... depending on what you're looking at, it's one character instead of a different one.
yeah,
But it's the same story type
there
thing.
seems to be much more of a focus on Lyrikill having credit for guiding the humans, instead of your goddess, whose name is...
This I should have written down. Ysandriel.
Yes, Ysandriel.
Ysandriel. Yes. I had it written down
Which,
though.
I mean, to you, the Loxlies, they have one goddess, Ysandriel, the goddess of nature. They know the other gods are out there, but that's nice, you know.
Ouch.
It's less of she's their patron goddess and more of she's the only one they care about.
Yeah. I mean, she's the only one in the Loxlies' opinion that has really paid attention to them. So why, you know, why give someone a gift that's never given you one?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just become tradition. So that's something that stands out to you is there is hardly anything about Ysandriel, but there is a huge focus on Lyrikill and especially Hylor.
Okay.
I mean, it's a shrine of Hylor, but there's, you notice for being a shrine to Hylor that Lyrikill plays a huge overarching theme within it.
Mm-hmm.
And from what you remember from your tradition studies, Lyrikill became the consort wife of Hylor. But otherwise, nothing huge jumps out at you.
How do you spell Lyrikill?
Lyrikil.
God damn, I got it right.
Good job. Proud of you.
I rolled my advantage on it to get it right.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a couple joints that need to pop. Bleh.
Okay.
Okay.
So
But
does
apart
it
from-
seem like they're using the name Lyrikill instead of Ysandriel?
No, it just seems to you like Ysandriel is really downplayed. I mean, as in, all the gods are mentioned. You expect there to be more to Hylor because it's the shrine of Hylor. But there's like 75% Hylor, 10% Lyrikill, and like 2% of all the other deities.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe 1% of Ysandriel.
Gotcha.
Do I have any Sandriel in my book? Like, do we share gods? She just puts an emphasis on Ysandriel and Hylor.
Anyone pretty, most people cross over. Yeah, we should have had that out to begin with.
If I had known, I would have brought in Taya's butt pillow.
I'm
He's
hoping this
still
helped me. I'm hoping this helped. Keep
hurting.
that.
Sorry, I just totally lost my train of thought there.
Sharing gods.
No, everyone, some people, especially clerics, paladins, and monks, typically focus more on a deity than other races and classes. It's not uncommon for someone to pray to all the gods.
Okay.
And just kind of lump them together.
I guess what I was getting at though is, are they the same gods? I mean, all the gods, but like we're different peoples. Do we have different gods?
He's asking if it's the difference between like Roman gods and Norse gods type thing.
Bleh.
Or is it the difference
Yes
of...
and no, not so much in this case. It's more of like talking about archangels. You can say Gabriel and Michael and everyone knows who you're talking about. You name another lesser known one and people are going to be like, eh,
Okay.
that's an angel. It's that kind of...
Same religion, different focuses.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
Perfect. All right, anything else, Parisa and Akathor? Otherwise, you know you have a very early start the next morning.
I will definitely head to rest.
Okay. And again, you're really excited that the room is Loxley focused and friendly, and that any typically metal parts, even the door hinges, are crafted from bone or stone or a really oddly treated wood instead of metal.
Oddly treated.
It's harder, almost like petrified.
Neat.
All right, and I will have you two bed down for the night.
Together or?
If you
Well,
want.
I mean, it's entirely up to you guys.
That's sort of the impression. I mean,
you
will have you
did
two.
just meet.
I will have you two bed down together.
And you completely went alpha on Phil.
Hey, he was getting up in my grill.
No, he was getting up in her girl.
Well, whatever.
Can I get some markers?
Markers? Yeah, absolutely. All right, Eric.
Hmm.
You
Have fun
guys have
babysitting.
made it through the second night traveling overland, and things have gone fairly well for you. You feel like you've lost the trail of the ogres. They have given up on trying to find you.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what you believe. You haven't seen any evidence contrary, and the land seems to be thinning out some. Instead of the mushy, almost swamp-like area, the ground seems to be getting a little firmer and almost more forest, like forest giving into plains, but there's a fade to it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I would just like to say, I know you said that the orcs gave up their search. Actually, I have a feeling that Trogdor is still searching his heart out. But he's just like, he's gone 50 miles that way, still searching. Like, I will find these kids one day.
You know what? Trogdor may make a reappearance just because I'm kind of in love with him now.
Trogdor the Vigilant, I have returned.
You have feasted on your doesn't
My dozen-
rations.
I have my flying dozen.
Yes. And it is the morning of the third day. How are you doing for rations, Eric?
I've been hunting every night.
Perfect. That's kind of what you had said last time. I just wanted to make sure that that was the case.
It's much smarter to keep the rations for when I don't have food.
Sean does say, I feel like I flipped Sean and Nathaniel.
I do too.
I feel like Nathaniel was William Cuthbert's brother and Sean was the stutter.
Kind of why I was kind of confused.
Yeah, Nathaniel's too cool of a name to have stutter. Not that stutters aren't cool, but
Wow,
like
for any of you
Nathaniel
Johns out
doesn't sound
there.
like a stutter. If your kid has a stutter, why would you name him something long? That's what I mean.
Well, to be fair, they wouldn't know he had a stutter when he was a baby.
I'll wait 8 years to give you a name, child.
I mean,
Oh, you stutter? Okay.
when he cried.
Your name's gonna be.
Oh God!
What's your Okay. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next week.
It's like that one.
Maybe.
How do you talk to
Now
blind
that we've
people? Can you
offended-
make some clicking noises like Braille? Oh wait, never mind. You can just talk.
Hey, Mom.
It's been a long day and night, you guys.
Oh, good.
Okay, we're good now. This Saturday nights are a winner. I'm telling you.
I'm having fun.
It's hey, you with the face. You're 25. Time to name you, I guess. Well,
All
maybe
right.
they have child names and adult names. There we
you
go.
go, there you go.
Save myself some grace here.
Okay, well,
And Nathaniel tells you that he's pretty sure he recognizes where you are, and he believes with the favor of the gods that you guys can reach Fort Calyx by nightfall.
wonderful.
Hey, you
Let's
with the
keep moving.
minis.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a 6-sider. 5? Perfect. And roll me perception.
15.
15. It looks like there is a storm moving from the north towards you, but it seems to be quite a ways out.
I'm from the Midwest. There's going to be a tornado in 2 days.
You're not wrong, though.
Every time someone in the Midwest says, oh, excuse me, a random stalk of corn grows somewhere in rural Ohio.
Oh, excuse me.
Well, excuse me.
Just gonna sneak right past you there.
Oh my gosh, you guys were awful. Okay,
Yeah, no, definitely.
Wait, sir, you can't go.
is there anything else that you kind of want to do, Eric, other than get the lay of the land?
Right now, my main purpose is to get these kids to some place where I'm not going to be babysitting them.
Gotcha. You're actually, roll me a wisdom save.
Save?
Yeah.
No.
That's fine, it's okay.
18.
18. During the night, when you slept, you had some strange dreams, just flashes of black feathers, a flaming horse, and a cloudy sky.
Oh shit.
And as you woke up and saw those clouds, it was just kind of that trigger, oh, cloudy skies, and then it was all gone.
Oh shit.
Okay.
Alright, so the first half of the day goes without incident, and it gets to the point where it's roughly 5, 6 o'clock in the evening. It is... I didn't denote season for you guys, did I?
Nope.
Okay, because that's important.
Yep.
I thought you did.
I thought I did.
I thought you did. It was very, very brief, though.
Well, so this will be the test because I was thinking it was spring.
Yeah, and I should be spring.
That's what I thought.
Okay, then I'm pretty sure you told us.
Because you were talking
Okay.
about how it was still kind of chilly at night,
Yeah,
but it wasn't like you're gonna.
but
freeze
it
to
wasn't
death.
freeze your face off chilly. Yep, it's the equivalent of mid-May.
Also, it's winter.
Not Minnesota mid-May.
Oh,
Like South Iowa mid-May.
oh, so it's not too bad.
So it's
Yeah.
beginning of summer.
Damn you, Midwest, in your temperate zone. Okay, it's spring. We get it.
Thank you.
It's actual
So
May.
it's so light. Yes, actual May. It's light enough out that on the horizon you can see a large stone fort up on a hill.
4 eyes.
Right.
And
I had lasers,
you
so I
watch
can say that.
all 3 kids kind of have that moment of relax as they see this. And you also see what appears to be a group of 5 horsemen coming your way from the west. But they're far enough out where you're not sure if they've seen you or not,
I'm going to make sure they do.
because there's some rolling hills.
I really wish this would have been you casting Minor Illusion.
I know, right?
Ha, suckers! It's not really there. I'm not there.
It's evening?
Yes.
Okay, then I'm going to light a torch.
Okay. And are you just kind of lighting it and holding it up and waving it and...
No, I'm just going to light a torch.
Okay,
I haven't lit a torch yet.
gotcha.
So
Is
a torch
you-
in the middle of the night in this area that seems like it is not very
I mean, there's
dense
some
foliage.
rolling hills, but it's...
It's more the dense foliage that
Yeah.
I worry about. Then they should pick up on the glow.
Yeah.
If they're friendly.
It doesn't take very
if they're not
long,
friendly, I'll kill 'em.
and you watch as their trajectory adjusts a little bit directly towards you all. Hey, Allie!
Hi, Allie.
Oh God, it's you!
And it doesn't take more than about 10 minutes, and they are riding up upon you. And you can tell from there, one of them has a tabard, and it is a green tabard with a shield on it and a large bear head in the middle of the shield. And you watch Nathaniel tear up and then quick pull it back. And he seems much more relaxed. Who there? Who are you?
Just a weary traveler who found some children that were absconded by orcs.
Is it orcs or ogres? Hold that thought.
I think you said ogres.
It was ogres, because Trogdor the Vigilant was an
Oh,
ogre.
now you're just sucking up football, Jake.
Oh, hey! No, you're just mad because she took your job.
Ouch.
I love you. I really
Are
do.
they orcs or ogres?
They're ogres.
Okay. They were absconded by ogres.
Workers.
And the man with the tabard looks down at Nathaniel. Is this true? Yes, sir. And you're all safe. Yes, sir. He saved us.
Well,
And you can tell he seems a little...
I wouldn't quite
Ashamed.
say I saved them as much as I loosed them from their captivity and they led me home.
Where are you from? You know, there is time for all of this later. And he motions, everyone, hop on the back of a horse. Let's get back to the fort. You are more than welcome in the house of Cuthbert, and we will make a place for you at our table.
Aw.
I appreciate that. I don't suppose you'd have lodgings for at least this evening?
Absolutely, we do.
I do not wish to impose.
No imposition. My eldest son just departed for the main city a few days ago.
It's unfortunate. I would like to have gone with him.
You may yet have the chance. We have caravans that go from the fort to the city every few days.
Wonderful.
And he'll be in the city for a few days before he departs for the Shrine of Hylor.
I'm Eric.
I have a name.
And it's
Advantage of the whole table. Ping.
I really...
Shit.
No, his name's Ping. I didn't ask his name.
I need to give Eric a surname I have yet to give him.
You also need to start introducing Eric as both with an A and a K.
Yeah, I'm Eric with a K.
And
Spelled
an
with
A.
an A.
Okay, AK Eric 7. I am Benjamin.
Nerd.
Frankly, I'm surprised you have such a simple name.
Aaron, it was much worse 2 weeks ago.
It was. Benjamin, thank you for answering my signal. I'm glad it worked in my favor.
Thank Hylor and Corindor you found the kids.
Yeah.
We've been looking for them for a few days, and
I just happened to get lucky.
Whoa! 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 I seriously regret naming you Benjamin.
And that one's not on me.
Garlic! 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 I found a flying doesn't you? Okay, so I got this.
Uh-huh.
You guys are on the horses headed back to Fort Calyx. The land around you is, like I said, the rolling hills. There is a mountain range to the northwest,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a good... I will rub it in, I volunteer.
That's your
It's gonna
friend.
be one of them pennies. I know, I'm so excited. She's like my spirit animal. All the inner dialogue in my brain comes out her mouth. And you realize you crossed 2 rivers to get to Fort Calyx. And while you saw the fort on the horizon, you did not see the rivers. Where they are, the ground dips down considerably, almost in a little valley. and the rivers are considerable. The first one, I need to ignore chat for a minute or I'm not going to get anywhere. The first one is very slow moving, but it is very deep. And there are, instead of a bridge, where you guys are fording the river, there's a raft and there's ropes across. And they guide the horses on 2 at a time and then pull the raft across the river.
That's the job that one of my previous characters had.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that not Naktashi?
That was not Kashi.
Benjamin dismounts. Nathaniel was behind him. He dismounts. And Benjamin looks at the horse and goes, "Go wait." And you watch the horse trot into the river and just start swimming across.
Okay.
Some of the other horses have to be blindfolded. One of them's a bit skittish. You can tell that this horse is very, very well trained and seems to react to voice as well as reins as Benjamin is riding him.
Speaking of,
guys are dorks. I love you so much. The second river is considerably faster flowing. There is quite a current in it and lots of rocks and rapids. However, it doesn't appear to be deep, and Benjamin and Nathaniel both inform you that this river is very deceiving. This is the river Elonix. E-L-N-I-X. E-L-O-N-I-X. Sorry, I can't spell. I mean, I can, I just, not today. And the river Elonix is responsible for many lost lives each year, as it doesn't take much to be swept away by it. Many people have gone to just test the current with their foot or a stick and be pulled into it. And at this point, Aurora speaks up and goes, excuse me, Mr. Benjamin, Mr. Eric, sir, when the ogres, when they took us, we didn't cross the river. I mean, we crossed the other, but we didn't cross Elonix. We only crossed one. And the two boys seem a bit confused, and they said no, they had crossed both when they had gone looking for her. But Benjamin and the other adults seem very concerned by this, as they're not sure how that's possible. And the other knights seem to, or the other guards seem to kind of dismiss it as she's a young girl, she was traumatized and confused. But you roll me an insight.
15.
Sorry, I caught myself babbling there. Benjamin
No, 17.
seems 17.
17.
He seems to take it to heart, and you can see the wheels turning in his head.
I'm not sure that that's possible without the influence of something supernatural.
And he just kind of looks at you and nods, and you get that feeling of he's got a little bit of respect for what's going on in your gray matter. And it is considerably harder fording this river. Thankfully, there is a bridge.
It's a ford, not a dodge.
But you have to ride single file across this bridge. And you notice that there are lines coming down from the trees that can...
I would like to use some of my natural skills
Yeah.
to see about making crossing a little bit more amicable to everything.
Okay.
I want to see if I can point anything out that might make it easier. Having traveled as much as I have, I want to see if I notice anything about this crossing that might make it a little bit easier on them.
Yeah, as you... I mean, there is this bridge, and it is single file, so they do have that going. But as you're watching the horses go across, and you're looking at the river, and the lay, as you cross, you're looking at the lay of the rocks and the rapids. Roll me a nature or survival, whichever's higher.
Wow, that's surprising. Survival's higher. 14.
You notice that if this bridge, the way they have it lined up, was put about 30 yards upstream, there would be no risk of a flood washing it away, and it could be widened so where they would not have to single file over it.
I will voice that. Just making an observation, I do not know if there is a military purpose for this, but if you wanted to make crossing a touch quicker, you could set it up there, and I'm going to point out a landmark.
Yeah.
Set it up there by those boulders, and you might find it a bit more accommodating.
Benjamin stops, looks for a minute. By Corandor, the lad's right. You're a ranger then,
I know my way around
or
the
a
woods.
woodsman.
I know my way around the woods, though swamps tend to be my more favorite.
We have only recently put this bridge up. It is often, our previous efforts are often thwarted by,
Mother Nature herself.
yes. And, you know, you get a chance to explain, well, when the rains, da-da-da-da-da, and you see him really struggling to understand what you're saying, and it makes sense to him, but it's one of those,
He starts going glassy-eyed on me.
he admits that he does far more with his sword than he does in the woods.
Well, then we'll talk about that later, because I think I need some help there, too.
And he
I'm better with a bow. I need some work on a blade.
actually seems excited by that prospect. And a few hours later, roll me one more six-sider, just for giggles. 3, perfect. I am going to expedite you a bit back to the fort, and I will get back to you momentarily.
Hi, honey, I'm home.
Rogus!
All the writing.
Yes.
Yeah!
Oh, she wasn't talking about me.
Huh?
Rogish.
Oh, Rogish. my bad.
Don't kill your husband on stream. Don't kill your husband on stream. Robert, give me a little information what you got about your character. Just a quick, give me bullet points.
As far as what do you mean?
As far as, did you come up with anything backstory wise, or?
Sort of, kind of, but I lost it with my other sheet.
No worries. We're gonna say indiscriminate background at the moment,
Mhm.
but because of your chosen path of barbarian, you graduated from the city of Silas last year. You know, as with all humans that grew up near or around the city or in the outlying lands, when they come of age, anywhere between the years 18 and 20, they are sent to the academy to be tested, choose a profession, and go with it. Most end up in trades, blacksmithing, leatherworking.
Actually, I do remember slightly. I did choose an outlander as far as that goes.
Perfect.
So,
So you didn't spend much time in the city itself, and you were happy about that. Just enough to go in, take your aptitude test, and then be like, yep, you know what, you're going to be way better outside the city than in. You're kind of a bull in a china shop. The librarians really seem so excited to see you graduate, and we're so happy for you. And they've always been so nice, and you never did really figure out why. But they were always very willing to find stuff and get it for you, rather than you go fetch it down yourself.
Fair enough.
And you had been dispatched to Fort Calyx to see what they needed help with, and figure out what's going on there, as they had been sending back reports to the city about increasing ogre and troll attacks. Also, livestock had been going missing. Never forget leg day. It's barbarian school, just I lift things up and put them down. You have to be angry while you do it, though, or it doesn't count. That almost scared me. I have nothing to throw at you.
Anybody wants to gift us a plush D20 that we can chuck at our players?
So, for reference for you...
Is it
oh my
trolls
gosh.
and ogres or trolls and orcs?
The trolls and ogres.
Ogres, okay.
Rogith, for reference for you, the city of Silas is right here.
Okay.
Fort Calyx is down here.
Gotcha.
It's considered a weeks going 10 days. So it's less than a 10 days ride.
Okay.
But depending on if it's a caravan or single riders or groups, they say average is a 10 day. There are caravans, 4 of them, that cycle constantly. So at any point, if one of them is attacked or disrupted, someone will notice sooner rather than later, and then immediately leave trail markers and go back.
Gotcha.
So every 2 to 3 days, there is a caravan that is at Silas and Fort Calyx. So if caravan 1 is at Silas, caravan 3 is at Calyx.
Gotcha.
And then they just...
do a rotation.
Yes. You are told you can go with a caravan as a guard, or you can get a mount and go yourself. You expect if you go yourself, it'll be a little more dangerous, but it should take you closer to 6 days. If you take the caravan, it will most likely take you the full 10 day.
I'll probably just take them out.
What?
I'm not too afraid of what goes on around me, but...
Yeah, you've spent enough time out in the wilds that you're familiar with the land. You are familiar with the territory to the northeast of Silas. Not as far as Fort Calyx, but you've been there once before. It's one of those, oh yeah, I remember, when I was training, I went there once to, as a caravan guard and back. So the route isn't completely Greek to you.
Gotcha.
Only slightly.
Only slightly.
So we are going to see, I'm going to alter timelines a little bit here. So while this is going on for you, this is before Parisa made it up to the shrine. Just that way I could kind of manipulate who gets where when, if that makes any sense. Because you guys are scattered to the four winds right now.
You put us here.
I know, I'm kind of enjoying it. Like, I like having the party divided. Not permanently or anything, but just, it's interesting to see how you guys are going to play, like, who knows what and who remembers what, and make it a little more realistic. It's going to be fun. Like, I know Ange was, out in California, but I don't know everything that happened when she was there kind of thing. It's one of those putting it together. So, for day 1, Rogith, I need you to roll me a 6-sider twice.
6.
Okay?
5.
Nice. The first day goes amazingly well. Your horse is ironically enough, a retired war horse. That used to be part of the cavalry until he took an arrow to the knee. He's recovered. He has recovered very well. His name is Adonis.
Adonis?
Ironically enough. He's got great abs. And he has been trained to voice command as well as reins.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it is impressive.
What's his name?
Adams?
Oh, sorry.
Rolling perception! And you can tell his gait when he goes at a canter is slightly off from other horses that you've ridden, but he doesn't seem impeded by it in any way. It was just one of those he spent his time.
He's getting all along in his age.
Yeah, I mean, he's not an old horse, but he's not the young strapping lad he used to be. But the weather is absolutely gorgeous. As you leave Silas, you pass the markets that are outside the gates. As every evening when the city closes, the stalls are kind of folded down and everyone goes inside the city gates. There's a couple villages within the day's ride, just scattered around the main city. The further you go, the more spread out humanity seems to be. Lots of rolling plains, and you expect it will take you till the evening of the second day, maybe the morning of the third, before you start to hit the mountain ranges. But all of this is grasslands and plains.
Gotcha.
The first night, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do is?
I'm pretty much going to find whatever shelter area, shrubbery, whatever that I can bed down behind and just...
Roll me survival, just for giggles.
23?
23. You find a wonderful campsite near a freshwater stream that has trees that look perfect for a lean-to. It looks like there was a campsite here previously, as there is a stone ring. But whoever was here previous to you, or excuse me, before you, was kind enough to scoop out the fire pit, clean it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's...
I bet it was Trogdor.
Sorry, how is he with the neighbors? Sorry, I'll read it. You know what? Feel free to saddle me with your puns all you want. I'll hoof it from here.
Okay.
I'm telling you, if we had a pun jar, we would be rich.
I'd be broke.
Yes, but the stream would be rich.
I would be broke.
Now, mind you, the pun jar will also have a clause on it that says if you use the same pun more than once, it's cumulative.
Ooh.
That way you're actually forced, if you want to make a pun, to come up with new ones every time, too.
And you feel like the location is secure enough that other than some wild animals, you don't feel like you're in danger.
Okay.
You were able to bed down just fine, get up the next morning, and continue. And actually roll me one more six-sider.
2?
Perfect. I will get back to you momentarily, and I'm going to head back to Parisa and Akathor.
Sweet.
It is the next morning. Akathor, it's about 4:30 in the morning. It is first light, and you are up. Your master informed you don't have to go to the training hall for morning exercises. You are to depart as soon as the Lady Parisa is ready.
I go running back on the door.
You are sawing logs. It's 4:30. Nobody should be awake at this time of morning. Typically, you wouldn't get up until closer to 5:36.
But I have meditation though.
Oh, that's right. Just kidding.
Yeah.
I lied.
Yeah.
What if she stays up all night and sleeps from 3 to 6?
Tell me now, because this will come into play later. What's your sleeping habit, sweetie?
Phil knows, I bet.
I would say I would probably be up earlier rather than later.
Okay. Yeah, you're up and you can hear promptly at first light a loud gong ringing. And it's a pleasant tone. It's not a annoying or harsh. It's almost a warm sound that seems to echo through the shrine. You'd had all your stuff packed the night before. You were ready. You did not decide to wait to pack 2 minutes before you had to leave. Because ain't no one got time for that. Ever. You do not worry about Akathor leaving without you.
I packed in the morning in the last 2 minutes. Because that's what men do.
Maybe you're smart. Maybe you were prepared. Sorry, I have to pick on that a little bit because that is one of my pet peeves.
Oh, I can't stand it.
Packing at the last second.
Like, I will probably be packed for our trip on Saturday, probably Thursday night.
That's ridiculous.
You are going to have...
I will pack my suitcase in the car on the way to the airport.
Oh, you forget shit.
Oh.
I don't forget anything.
I don't know if we can be friends anymore. That's pretty rough.
Yeah.
I'm a dude. We don't carry anything. Oh, look. Socks, underwear, pants, shirt, toothbrush. Hey!
But what about, like, spare clothes in case you spill something?
I just said pants, socks, underwear. I just said that.
Alright.
I'll let you into that.
And we don't do outfits. We don't do...
And you know, shortly after
Anyways.
first light is when you were supposed to meet at the front gates. Akathor, are you going to go straight to the front gates, or are you going to head towards her room?
If the plan was to meet at the front gate, then I would meet at the front gate.
Okay. Parisa, you are able to make it to the front gates. Akathor is there waiting for you, and so is the master of the shrine.
Who?
I will nod
Yes.
to the master of the shrine. Thank you for your hospitality.
Anytime. And he gives the shallow bow and goes, "May Hylor and Ysandriel bless your journeys."
Oh.
The first few days should be relatively easy, as you will still be between the borders of the lands, of which I'm sure you're familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, I suggest keeping a guard up at night. There's been more than enough activity as of late. And he sends you on your way. Now, you guys have a couple options. Going to Silas, as you are on foot.
Mm-hmm.
That was my next question.
Yes, you guys are on foot.
Foot.
You do know that,
That sucks.
Parisa, you know that once you are out of the mountains, you would have the option of, well, you know too, you'd have the option of procuring horses, but they don't bring horses up to the shrine. Because it's like half a day of stairs.
Horses walked stairs.
You don't want horses on these stairs. Like Grand Canyon mules you don't want to put on these stairs.
What's your speed?
Super fast. 40.
Okay.
What about 3 outfits for the day? Yeah, Krabby, exactly.
Effed.
But, the border of Loxley land goes here. Silas is here. The typical road, more trail than road, that's followed when clerics come to be consecrated to Hylor, is that lovely dotted line that your DM so expertly drew on the map. You can follow the border of the Loxley land and then hit the river and cut over. You can follow the trail. So it's up to you if you want to stay on the Loxley border or if you want to take the...
I've made this trip before. I would have, for my schooling or whatever, my initiation, right?
As a monk in the shrine, you would not.
Okay.
Monks are the odd duck out there.
Well,
One of the 2 odd ducks out there.
I would prefer to stay as close to Loxley lands as possible. I don't want to necessarily deal with any of the
Okay.
stinky little dwarves.
If you do that,
You don't like doors.
you'll have to cut over. It'll probably add 3 to 4 days to your journey.
Oh, if we stick to the Loxley lands?
Mm-hmm. Because instead of a straight shot, it's
What is it you don't like about dwarves?
the dwarven lands.
Metal.
Here,
I like metal.
I'm gonna do this.
It's good music.
I still need to show that video to Patrick.
The dwarven lands do one of these numbers. So, I mean, there's no man's land in between.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but their lands are
But their
more
lands
north.
stay more north.
Oh, okay, then I would be okay with following the path.
Okay. I mean, it's definitely... I mean, it's up to the two of you. What you want to do.
I think staying to the path is best.
Achiathor Threx? Sorry, it's stuck in my head. That's how I remember Achathor.
You better be careful or else I'm going to start going by his middle name, Brodicius.
I miss Brodicius!
Brodicius.
He was so fun.
Odysseus.
Brodicius,
Hi,
man.
I'm Judas. Odysseus and Judas are gonna go out of big old chair.
As you reach the bottom of the shrine, the first half day until 2-3 in the afternoon
Mm-hmm.
is very cleared land with lots of forest on the Loxley side, and there's a little bit of sparse tree, but mostly cleared on the dwarven side. And there's Loxley guards on the one side and dwarf guards on the other, and there's a good quarter-mile stretch with nobody in between. And you hear the normal, good-natured jeers going back and forth. One of the dwarves hollers out to you, Achathor. "Oh, don't be taken in by her charm. Dwarven women are the best, and not all of them have beards." And you can tell
I
it's
don't
just
engage.
good-natured. And...
That's disgusting. I don't like short women with beards.
Ouch!
Oh!
Yeah. Oh God.
What?
I'm
FYI, I'm vertically challenged, so I feel attacked right now.
CSI.
It's not me, it's
last night.
Achathor.
CSI last night. I was watching an episode and they had a dwarf on there. Have you ever-
Little person.
No, he called himself a dwarf, so
Mhm.
he's using the same word he did.
Okay.
Would you like to have you ever had the backs of your thighs licked by a dwarf before?
Oh!
What kind of pickup line is that?
That's so awkward. No! I feel violated.
I don't know.
Just seems weird.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy.
No, jury's out on that, because Tyrion Lannister, like, that's where my mind went, and I think I'm okay with that. And it doesn't take long for you guys to get out of no man's land. There is a small village, very small village, that instead of the brick and mortar houses,
It's just a bar and a post office.
I have nothing to throw at you, love. The houses are more wooden and clay, and it is more of an outpost, messengers that will run things up to the shrine or back to the city when needed. Most of the buildings all of the buildings are well kept, but lots of them are empty and just there for use for parties going through.
Mhm.
And there is also a stable there. And it is 7-8 in the evening. You guys can decide if you want to stay there the night or if you want to...
You said it's a small
Travel.
village. I mean, who stays there? Is it men? Is it humans? Is
It is a human village. There is a fledgling beekeeper area that has been one of the things your mother's been working on. As humans, beekeeping was a new thing for the Loxlies,
Mm-hmm.
and they are very fond of honey.
The humans are.
And the Loxlies are very fond of honey, so that was one of the things that was kind of pushed. But there's humans, there's not very many. We're talking less than 100 people. Men and women, not really any children. But there's
Would you
also
like
a
to-
stable as well.
Do you want to stop here and see about staying the night, or I don't know how comfortable you feel with just staying out in the wild.
She looks at you and giggles inwardly.
Mm-hmm.
Because he wouldn't know.
That's true.
That's a legit question.
If it would be more comfortable for you, I have no problem staying here.
I'm not worried so much about comfort, more danger.
That is true.
So okay, let's see if we can find.
Do I have bees buzzing around my hair?
High or low?
Hi.
There are bees all over your hair, and they don't seem aggressive. They just seem excited.
Because I have flowers in my hair.
You want me to get that for you?
No.
Don't
Get
bother
my
the
staff.
bee, and the bee. Oh no! So you are able to bed down for the night. The stable master comes out and
We're staying in the stables.
Yep.
no, he
You're gonna have a baby in the manger.
Wow, we haven't even had sex.
comes out.
I read this in a book once. Away in a manger.
I am getting shit to throw at you guys.
No, for a bed.
The Loxlies gonna kill you if the DM doesn't lose her head. Stable master comes out. Ah, travelers, a monk in a Loxley. Hello. Allow me to introduce myself, my lady. I am Edward.
Oh
Are
God.
you looking for a place to spend your evening? Edward! Edward, you get back here! Where did you go?
Okay, let's go stay in the woods. I'm gonna turn around and walk away.
Why did you leave the mule untied? Last time I had to chase him for Edward!
Is that your wife?
Nope, that's my wife.
She never had, so.
Perhaps. Come in, darling! I was just assisting some travelers. There's travelers, and you see this middle-aged woman come bustling out, flour on her apron, some flour smudges on her face. Her hair's a little bit akimbo, but she looks like...
Akimbo? I've never heard that before.
Really?
Yeah.
It means like...
A
all
sea,
of-
like a
yeah.
stew?
Yeah, but a little
Huh.
more chaotic.
Huh. Neat.
Yeah.
I learned something today.
This has been your daily etymology lesson with DMLoxy. Oh, travelers! Why didn't you say so, Edward? And she's over. Oh, hello, dear.
Hello?
That sounded so much like Mrs. Duff.
I was gonna say hello.
She's got cake all over her
What is happening? Where are you headed? It's almost evening. You're not traveling alone. Oh, what a sweet couple.
Oh.
I put my arm around her shoulder.
Roll deception.
Happily. That one. 4. Closer. Wait. That's not even the right size. 15.
What?
I rolled a d12. I got too excited. Deception? 18.
Yeah. She got a 2. Oh, and she seems so excited. I knew interracial couples would come along soon. Come, have dinner with Edward. Get the mules bedded down, and she's just all up in arms, and you are just.
I'm a little mortified.
However,
Oh
the
my gosh.
smell coming from the house attached to the side of the stables is amazing. You smell fresh baked bread, and there is a meat pie that is baking. That
Is there descent in it?
Maybe. And she, you really at this point don't have much of a choice in the matter. She ushers you in, puts everything down, and you watch her scoop the silverware off the table.
She knows.
And bring out more silverware that looks and sounds like metal as she sets it down, but it's black. And you have never, either one of you have ever seen anything like it.
I'm going to, I'm carefully looking at it. I'm not quite touching it yet.
Yeah.
What is this made out of?
It's a different kind of...
What? I'm out. I'm gonna stay in the woods.
No, you guys, come on. This is a retirement community. That's why there's not many.
Oh, sorry,
Yes.
Soylent Green.
It's called cast iron, and while it is metal, it doesn't seem to react to you folks the way that other metals do. At least we've only ever had one that was like, bleh. The rest were quite alright. And she puts down some meat pies and... Tell me about your journey. How'd you two meet? Do you have children?
He's a Baba and I'm a seamstress.
Would you like to tell her the story, honey?
So in love with this right now.
Just remember, all my boyfriends died.
It was good knowing you.
We'll make another character sheet after tonight. So.
No, you go ahead. You do seem to enjoy telling the story.
We're not actually together. I'm sorry to burst your bubble, lady.
Oh.
I'm a monk. I'm from the temple, just up the mountain. We're on our way down to.
That one place with the person.
No.
Silas,
yeah.
I knew. Of course I knew. I was making sure you knew. Do you know the name of that city over there? Okay.
She takes away your meat pie.
That's fine. I don't want to eat people anyways. Thanks, lady.
And let's see, you can stay here. Is he bothering you?
No, he's my escort down to the city. I apologize for his behavior. I believe the seclusion in the monastery has damaged some of his manners.
You know what happens when you make assumptions? Beatrice, was it?
Actually, it is. That's the part that I haven't written down.
Oh my goodness.
I'm very insightful.
Snapchat's hitting on ya. Oh gosh. She seems much more subdued and a little embarrassed now. But she offers lodging for the evening, as well as food and any provisions if you need, and explains that her husband Edward would be more than happy to set you up with mounts for the rest of the journey.
Oh, we would greatly appreciate that.
Well, not for free, of course. Maybe if you were a couple. That would have been cute enough for a horse. A pony. I think you'd have good luck with a pony.
See what you did now? You upset her.
I apologize for my behavior. She's right. I'm not good with people. I am good with donkeys, though. May I have a donkey? And if so, how much?
A donkey? Well, there's...
Sorry, a pony. Whatever you said it was. The four-hoofed thing out there.
That was a mule.
Whatever it was, I'll ride it.
There are mules, but, if you want to make some decent time, I'd almost recommend quarter horses. I can give you basic tack and a quarter horse for 20 gold each.
I've never seen a horse in my life.
You would have when you came through.
Okay. I wouldn't know the difference. Alright.
But no, quarter horse, Clydesdale, mule, it's a 4-legged hoofy thingy.
I'm also broke.
You are not.
I'm not made of money though either.
Mm.
Well, thank you, Krabby. That
We'll
was
talk about that
awesome.
because you do have a considerable.
I say because you gave me 75.
Add 100 to
That
it.
was well played.
Okay.
I did my math wrong.
Well,
Magic monk.
Yeah, but Krabby's comment was the icing of the cake.
Oh gosh. Dear goodness.
Grease button. Well, I don't have any coin on me, but I could exchange for some gems.
Of course. We
A horse is a horse, of course, of course.
absolutely. And she is, brings out a little scale, and the transaction's concluded. You guys can choose the colors of your horses and names. And if you say purple, so help me God, I will throw something at you.
I was going to say hot pink.
Why
And
did
you
you look
said
at me when you
20
said purple?
You said 20 apiece, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And you watch as Parisa pays for your horse.
Thanks, dear.
Her and Beatrice both give you looks. You now have horses for the journey. And I want each of you to roll me a 6-sider, please.
Six.
Deuce.
Okay. You very quickly get into a habit of travel as far as getting through the day, setting up watch. The majority of things you've encountered have just been wild animals.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing that's required you to use any skills that Akathor may be unfamiliar with. And it is, we're going to say, you guys are about a 1.5-day ride from the lake.
So have we been making good time?
Yes,
or-
you feel like the weather has been well. You've really, everyone's green, you guys. Love it. Purple with a gold mane and tail, right? Skull, painted on the flank.
So then can I have a green horse with a gold mane and a big G on its ass?
I second this.
Oh, you guys done did it now. Bleh.
Oh, Krabby! I'm so sorry.
Oh, Krabby.
Krabby, I would come stay in your tiny hut.
And it's,
Totally comfortable.
yeah, it's been a good 2 weeks of travel. And Parisa, you especially are taken aback with just how quiet it's been.
Mm-hmm.
You've often heard, and Akathor, you've heard tales of how fraught with perils and danger and monsters this trip is. And you're starting to think that maybe people have been exaggerating because you guys haven't run into anything yet.
Well, and I mean, my master even warned me that this was going to be a rough trip.
Yeah, so you're really caught off guard, I guess is the best way to explain it. It's one of those, it's too quiet. I am going to bounce back to Eric.
What?
You arrive at, I'm gonna sneeze, maybe not.
Because of Hundite.
Let it go.
No, my nose just really itches.
Can't hold it.
Here.
That was kind of
That
good.
was pretty
I'm
good, Dex. That
sorry.
was pretty good, Dex. I'll give it to you.
You have made it to inside the fort. Benjamin tells you the other 2 children will be returned home. He is going to take you and Nathaniel to their home, which is the Cuthbert Estate. And the Cuthbert Estate is northwest of Fort Calyx.
Okay.
Just about an hour's ride out. And it is a large estate. You get the sense that everywhere Benjamin Cuthbert goes, people stop and give him respect, but it's not a fear respect. It's a honest to goodness admiration. You can tell that he is well liked and well respected as a person. You don't see any of the after talk or undercurrent when he's around. And even when you guys get to the estate itself, get in the courtyard, and a stable hand comes out to take the horse, all of his staff seem well groomed, healthy, and there's admiration all around. It feels more like a giant family than it does an estate with staff. And he tells you that, come on in, we'll have dinner. Would you like to get cleaned up first?
Before the children are escorted off,
Yes,
I will grab the raven.
Perfect. And the raven seems, Arya seems grateful. And he, Benjamin hasn't said anything yet, but he kind of eyeballs it a little bit.
She was hurt. I'm trying to nurse her back to health.
Good-hearted lad.
You're okay.
And
Don't worry.
once you get in the courtyard, the stable hand gets the horse. It's no more than maybe 2 minutes, and people start pouring out of the house. It's more of a manor than a house.
Wow, that's all.
It definitely has. It's what you refer to as like a sprawling estate, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
There is an upstairs and a downstairs like a tavern, but then it's one floor for the rest of it. And people start pouring out. There's a couple dogs running around, yipping excitedly. Looks like hunting hounds.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a woman who you can't see Nathaniel anymore. She's crying and holding him, and he seems relieved and embarrassed simultaneously.
She's trying to smother him.
That's okay. Kill her. Not yet.
And somehow she's able to get everyone ushered in for dinner, and finally get the chance to sit down with just Benjamin Cuthbert, his wife Caitlin,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just the three of you, and it is an excellent dinner. But Benjamin goes, now that things have settled down a bit and the rest of the family is in the main dining hall, tell us about yourself.
Well, you're probably not going to believe me. I don't remember. I mean, it's not quite that bad, but I can tell you up to probably about a week ago what happened in who I am and where I come from. But then I seem to have lost most of my memory of recent events.
I've heard of this affliction. Maybe one of the healers in the city could assist. We had our stable boy, Bernard. He was out in the mountains and hit his head, and it took him weeks to get his wits about him. But you don't seem to have any...
I did a once-over, and I do not seem to have suffered any injuries. Growlithe is a good one, too.
Aw, ponytail.
Yes. Ponytail away.
You would not turn down Growlithe.
No, I wouldn't. I would
A
cuddle the
little
hell out of
tiger
that thing.
dog that can spit fire.
Do you realize how tall Arcanine is?
No.
Arcanine is almost 7 feet tall.
Perfect guard dog.
I know.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I want one.
So, well, it is odd, but not unheard of.
I appreciate the offer. I'm not sure how well it will work.
You are welcome here as long as needed. Otherwise, shoot, there's... As you know, there's not many, well, maybe he doesn't. And it's more this concern than... You... There's not many healers. Our son, William, is on his way to the Shrine of High Lord to become an anointed cleric. He might have had more insight. He's only 2 days out. I'm sure if, we gave you the route or sent you, I don't know if a caravan would catch him. If you went on your own, you might.
I would need a very healthy steed.
Well, he left with the caravan, so they won't be moving very quickly. Caravans take twice as long to reach Silas's single
they
rider.
are generally slow.
But I think you'd be able to catch him, and we could write you a letter of introduction. But
I would be, as I am unsure of where I am and what has transpired, I'm also of a mind to make money.
I'm sure something can be arranged. You will have a handsome reward for finding the children.
Oh, I need no reward for that. I was not actually hunting for them. I happened across them.
The gods work in mysterious ways.
I have no need for reward.
But you said you needed money.
I prefer to work for my way.
Did you not protect the children on the way back? Did
No.
you not free them?
There was no skin off my back. To be fair, and I'm going to regale him with what had happened.
He shakes his head a little bit.
It was truly blind luck and honestly no work on my part.
Well, we will discuss the finance situation and the reward more
I mean,
tomorrow.
I do have coin on me, but
Is it broken quite though?
and I'm really loath to pull it out.
Well, if you want
It's
to...
strange. I don't recognize the coin. It's as if somebody has tampered with it. I'm going to pull out one of the Barovian coins.
And you watch him kind of give a look to Caitlin, and she runs to the other room and comes back with this large tome.
Okay.
And he starts flipping through and looking and goes, I don't recognize it either.
I mean, they seem to be proper coin, but they seem to be tampered with.
Well, we have a forge. We could melt it down and put it into, traveler's bits, but...
I have quite the stash of these.
And he goes,
And
well,
I'm going to pull out the pouch.
well,
277 gold.
as a reward, would you be willing to allow me to process it for you into traveler's bit?
That would probably work well. How do you feel? How does silver coins work in this? Again, like I said, and I pull out the silver too.
And he looks at him and he explains it's essentially the same
Right.
conversion rate. He does warn you that putting it in traveler's bits, there's not so much minted coin up here as traveler's bits are almost like little squares. Think like Hershey squares.
So Bitcoins.
Of,
I'm going to run around with D6, gold D6s.
but I mean they're more
Yep.
rectangular.
Yep.
Of, it goes, well, a little will be lost when it's melted down, but
As long as they're usable. Again, I really don't wish to be carrying something that could be confused as me playing tricks on people.
understandable. And I don't sense a falsehood about you, and I'm just glad to have Nathaniel home.
He's a good boy. He needs to learn to relax a bit, though.
Too fast.
He carries the mantle of your family name as a heavy weight.
He always has. As soon as his older brother was shown an affinity for becoming a cleric, it's as if he feels he has something to live up to. He needs to realize he is
His own person?
yes. It takes all of us sometimes, I think.
Why?
Um,
How did my mother put it? It takes a village to raise a child.
the offer to, switch the coin over says it can be done throughout the night.
Well, as long as it doesn't put anybody out.
Not at all. You are shown to a room where there's clean linens, a wash basin, there's baths with hot water, and Caitlin offers to bring up some fresh bandages for Arya. And they pretty much do, you need to rest, we'll talk more in the morning.
Go to bed.
No. And
I'm not completely oblivious to the social etiquette.
perfect. Rogith, I'm gonna hop over to you. Roll me one more 6-sider.
It disappeared.
1.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Roll me a 4-sider.
And roll a death save.
Good night. Wait, I didn't.
4.
4?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, honey.
You are less. You've passed a couple caravans. You feel like you are making excellent time on Adonis. The horse seems very happy to be out trotting along. You're about half a day's ride out from Fort Calyx. And roll me a perception.
You don't see a thing.
I fell asleep on the horse. No, where is it on this one? Okay. 17.
17.
Sorry, no. Yes. 17.
Okay, you are going along where up ahead as you round the corner of the lake, you see what looks like a large puddle, and at first you think it's algae, and it looks like a pond, but it's in the middle of the road, and it looks like that thick bubbling algae with these green tubular pieces laying in it.
Sorry, Brutus just came back.
And Adonis seems to snort and
Do not cross the pond.
I trust the horse. I'm gonna
But
back up.
Paris.
okay, I mean you're a good 50 feet from it,
Mm-hmm.
but it just there's a weird puddle in the middle of the road.
Right.
Throw a rock at it. Wait, I got ball bearings. You want
Aww. Aww.
to
No, he drew me a stoat.
Yeah, I'm gonna back away from it because normally when horses do that sort of thing, it's usually for a good reason.
Yeah, and I mean
So.
he kind of snorts and does that horse thing of like, okay, now what?
Mm-hmm. We're gonna go around that puddle.
It's a weasel.
So
Okay,
basically
how far around are you going?
Yes.
probably
But
around 200 feet.
Okay,
So
just
'cause-
going way around it.
Yeah, I'm just going way around it just because the whole aspect of bears and whatnot, that kind of thing.
Perfect.
Normally that's what horses do, so it's
they're
best
cute,
to
but deadly.
Yeah.
navigate.
And
Oh, God, I
as
don't
you
like
go
to.
around, you notice that these tubular things, as you start to veer off the path, raise up. And there's 4 of them that kind of, you don't see a face, it's just this
Right, you just ran into a marble.
giant noodle. Giant green goopy noodle. 4 of
Final
them.
Fantasy.
They're doing this. And they start to come in your direction. And then they just kind of slink back. And the horse is 3 times faster than they are.
Yeah.
So you don't feel threatened, but you're really glad that you didn't go investigate it closer.
Right.
It is quite It is starting to get dark. You're probably an hour's ride, about hour and a half ride from Fort Calyx, and there is a large manor house just to the west of you, and it is getting quite late and quite dark.
Being that it's getting dark, I'm gonna dismount and
Okay.
walk the horse, just because I don't want him stumbling and breaking a.
Right. The manor house does look well lit and looks like it has a well lit courtyard as well.
I'll approach the manor house and.
Perfect. And we are actually going to go to break, and when we return, Rogath, you will find yourself at the Cuthbert estate.
Oh.
And they will have 2 unusual visitors.
Wow, spoiler alert.
One evening. I'm the DM! But it should have been fairly obvious. And then we will also get back to Akathor, Parisa, and their horses and find out why things have been so quiet.
I know.
We also just made up on our trip. I drew her a pretty picture. So.
I don't.
It's an
All right.
adorable picture.
I'm sure it's fantastic. We will see you guys in roughly half an hour. We're gonna get some grub and then we'll come back. Thanks for putting up with like the intro part, guys. It's getting there. See you in a half hour.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Right, 3. Okay, welcome back to Dragons in the Dining Room. DMLoxy presiding. Back to the second half of Nerevis. Sorry, I just had to do a super quick chat with one of my players, which was awesome, and give a little bit of background. So I do have that symbol for you, Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I'm confused by your question.
Well, you just got done explaining,
Yeah?
and what happens with me.
Oh! Oh! Click, 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 click.
Something for you to ponder.
No, that is actually something that was going to come into play much later. But now I don't have that luxury.
Well, no, it's not being asked in game, so you don't
Right.
have to answer it right now.
Well, no, but it's pertinent.
Okay. I wasn't trying to force it in.
No,
That's
no.
all.
You're just... I'm giggling because your brain is going the same direction mine was, and that catches me a little bit off guard because usually we go like completely different roads.
Okay.
It's like the 2 of you reading my mind last Dragon Heist.
Right.
It's not my fault you think loud. Alright, so we are actually going to kick up with blah, 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 Rogath and approaching the manor.
What did you say the symbol looked like?
A shield with a bear in it.
No, he meant the symbol of Marasa,
Oh.
right?
It does not look like a shield with a bear in it.
No, the shield with the bear in it is actually the Cuthbert family crest. Come on, stupid phone. Thank you. I love technology. Technology's great. Technology's my friend. Marasa's symbol, I will send it to you.
Okay.
And I'll try and hold it up, but I don't think the camera's going to catch it. It is a... What I might do is I might just pass you my phone so you can look at it, because my phone's
Is
being really
September
slow.
over?
I don't know if that's actually in a... Okay, it'll pick up
They were
some.
only doing it for so many subs.
Okay.
Or,
It is
cheers.
a dark red, like
They got used up.
kind of a burgundy and dark green shield with crossed bows with flames above them.
Sweet. So that's why I have branded on the back of my hand, essentially, with metal.
The crossed bows with the flame over it, or like the entire
The whole thing.
shield.
Yep.
Yes! Sorry,
And
that's creepy.
it's like metal that's been melted into the back of my hand.
Damn.
I wonder how that would affect all the nerves and stuff in your
Oh,
hand.
don't worry about that. This is fantasy.
The nurse in me is disturbed. It's just the real life. No, it's just D&D. Caught in a landslide, rolling for nat 20s. Sorry. I kind of wanted to keep going with that.
Only 20 when I dropped it.
Alright, so Rogan, you get to the courtyard and it doesn't take long. Guards notice you. And who goes there? You're not, well, you are there, but shut up.
I'm Rogith. I'm currently choking on
Chewing.
food.
I just had some roast pheasant.
I've come seeking lodging for the evening.
Ah. What brings you this way?
I'm heading down to the Fort Caliph.
Ah, Fort Calyx, yes. Let me, just a moment. And one of the guard comes and, walks you in, and he notices, well, let's see. Yes, he does. He notices your symbol, and immediately, please, come right in. There will no doubt be lodging for you this evening, and it doesn't take long, and, you presume the Lord and Lady of the Manor come out. Benjamin Cuthbert is a portly gentleman, roughly 60 years of age. Very... What?
Sorry.
Will you quit being a creeper?
No, it's not him. All I can think of is all of the jokes about him now were all really bad.
He has the air of combat and a seasoned veteran soldier about him, but you can tell that he has been home more than on the field, as his years have been getting along with him. His wife is near him, and as the soldier jogs back, "Ah, friend, how can we assist?"
I do not mean to impose, but I am looking for just a place to lay down for the evening, and some food and lodging for my horse as well.
And it takes him no time at all to recognize the symbol on your hand. "Be welcome, servant of Marasa. And apparently it is our night for strange visitors."
Visitors?
And as he says that, you feel a pulse inside you. Your paladin senses tingle, and you feel like somehow maybe it's the intervention of Marasa that you are where you are. Eric, roll me perception, please. I'm going to take a bite of my fish here.
15.
15. You hear a commotion in the courtyard below. Your window is overlooking the courtyard. And you see a... Describe yourself. I'll let you finish chewing.
No, I don't know if I'm going to poke my head out the window or not.
Oh, well, never mind. You hear a commotion in the courtyard, and being male and not curious, you lay back down and you sleep.
Does it sound... I mean, with this commotion, does it sound like things are odd outside, or does it just sound like something's happening?
It doesn't sound like combat, but it doesn't sound like normal noise for this type of night.
Okay. Then I would at least look out the window.
And looking out the window, you see Benjamin and Caitlin, and two of the guards wearing the tabard of the Cuthbert family, and sitting astride a large black warhorse that seems very fond of himself is
A narcissistic horse. Never.
A rather large gentleman, about 6 feet in height, built built kind of like a farmer, with a battle axe on his back and traveler's clothes. But my hood is pulled back so you can see that I have long, loose flowing black hair with silver highlights. And if you can notice from that far, how far away?
He's in the second story window.
I have really good eyes.
Oh, okay. So you probably would see that my eyes are sort of wow, can't speak tonight. Heterochromia.
It's contagious, I tell you.
One is kind of a bright, vibrant green. The other one is a hazel.
Well, what time of day is this?
It's dark.
Then no,
I mean,
I
there's
can
lots
see
of
Okay.
torchlight from there, but it's
Also,
you
I'm
wouldn't see eye color,
fairly
but
tan from being out in the sun for.
that. Tall, dark man with dark hair on a dark horse.
Eric, what did you do with Arya?
Oh, she's okay.
Okay, she kind of like pecks at the window a little bit and cocks her head like she's curious.
I ain't letting you out. Die, my baby.
You don't deserve anything I give you.
Oh, I mean, I'm not letting her go. She can poke and peck at the window all she wants, but
I mean, she's not struggling against it. It's more that head tilt curiosity. Benjamin goes, yes, strange guests indeed. We had some children that had gone missing. They had returned. One of them was my son. Thankfully, Marasa saw not to take them in just yet. One of the girls was kidnapped by ogres, and two of the boys had gone after her. A man who has lost his memory found them and brought them back. He's in the guest room upstairs.
Lost his memory.
I think it may be interesting for you to meet him. He's probably sleeping, but in the morning maybe over some breakfast. There's plenty of room. Many motions for you to come on in, and it is a very large estate. I mean,
it's more like a manor.
yeah, the main building is almost set like a 2-story cavern. I'm ignoring whatever you said because I don't care.
I was saying what you said.
And then it's single story, but the single story kind of wraps around in a U shape. And then in the center of that U is the 2-story part of the house.
These ogres, do they normally trouble the estate here, or?
No, they typically stay, of course, to the east, closer to the swamp of Essos, but they have been getting bolder as of late. And the girl that was taken said she only crossed the river, one of the rivers. She only crossed,
She did not.
Alonix is the rapid one.
That she did not cross.
She never crossed the river Alonix. Only Kellio.
How far away is that from the estate? Would I
It
know that?
is. You would know just by basic geography. It would be like saying Iowa is south of Minnesota,
Okay.
kind of. That it is due south of here. Fort Calyx is a little to the northeast. So here's the estate. Here's Fort Calyx, and the rivers go like this.
Gotcha. So they would have had to pass the fort essentially to.
Yeah, they would have had to go past the fort because the village she was taken from, like there's Fort Calyx, was over here. And usually they don't come past here.
Gotcha.
And she's saying she only crossed one river, not two. It makes
Bells go off.
it makes no sense. It's like saying that you went from the east coast to the west coast, never crossed the Mississippi River. Which I mean is possible, but you have to go way north.
Well, north of us.
Or way south.
Yeah, and then take a boat.
I'm on a boat.
Sit, boy! I love how we did it when you did it and not me.
Well.
But there's time for all of this later. And one of the stable hands is coming, taking your horse, and he explains there's lodgings here, there's a hot bath if you so desire, and it hasn't been too long since dinner. They will gladly bring some out. Paladins and clerics in Nerevis are fairly rare.
Okay.
Most healers or classes don't deal with magic. Any magic that is around is divine magic, and you're considered God-touched.
Gotcha.
Benjamin doesn't waste a lot of time in telling you that his son, William, is on his way to the Shrine of Hylor to become a cleric of Hylor and just departed a few days hence.
Good for him. Good for him. Hopefully he has a safe journey.
And it's... perfect. Eric, are you going to stay in your room, or are you going to come down? Okay.
I forgot about this. I was going to use it for the staircase.
You have time.
I'm not good at voices.
Yeah.
I can do an English accent, so I've got one character with an English accent, everyone else is just my voice. I
Sometimes
can't do what I can do.
Sometimes that's all you need. Eric and Niall are pretty much my voice.
You are able to you have a great night. The accommodations are wonderful. It is a most assuredly home-cooked meal, hot bath, plenty of rest.
In
make the best
lieu
fucking
of that, I
spaghetti.
do ask them if they've ever come across the thing that I saw out in the road. If anybody's come across anything like that. Excuse me.
Oh, good question. There's that sneeze from before.
For 2 hours.
That tickled all the way up my brain. Benjamin looks quite disturbed, and he again waves at his wife, and she's already halfway down the hall, comes back with another tome and starts flipping through it, and there's a rough sketch of what you saw. Did it look like
The cave of despair.
the pit of despair? Don't even think about trying to leave. Did it look like this?
And I'm assuming that they. Yes.
He explains that these creatures, until 6 months ago, no one had seen, and he explains they're acidic worms that have been showing up more and more, and he's trying to see if there's a pattern between their appearance and some of the raids from the ogres.
Gotcha.
Bless you.
Let's see again.
Thank you.
Because of Hyundai?
It's you. I think there's another one.
Save it
Clean
for
up
the
in
notes.
aisle 3. Clean up in aisle 3.
It's a good thing I didn't engage it then.
Yes, and you said there was 4 of them?
I only saw
You saw 4
okay.
2B pieces.
Gotcha. Yes, I saw those.
Gross.
Benjamin seems fairly disturbed, and says tomorrow he's going to make note to his personal guard. Thank you. I take all the blessings. Yay! And he says he will do some research into the night as well to have more information for you in the morning
I appreciate it.
as to, any correlation that he can find between this. Your room is amazing, comfortable. I mean, it's not high quality inn, but it's that handmade quilts, freshly stuffed mattresses, straw. There's even tansy and lavender in the mattress. So which for anyone who wants to know, keeps bugs away and makes it smell good.
It would be like putting mint in the mattress type thing.
Yeah.
You can also just cook a cow pie.
But that wouldn't make it smell good.
But it keeps the bugs away.
Gross.
Probably.
It does.
It does. Farmer's tansy. So you guys are going to sleep.
Yep. I'm probably sleeping on the floor because those kinds of accommodations are probably more than what I'm used to.
So you just
If
grab
you
the sheets
want
off the bed?
Pretty much,
Sleep
yeah.
on the floor, you absolutely can, but it's there for your use should you desire. Whose kids are Pansy and Lavender? Crabby, awful. Alright, Akathor and Parisa.
Mm-hmm.
It is the next morning, you've eaten, you have your horses. What color are your horses if it matters to you? And, that's important. What color are your horses?
Mine
What's
is...
its name?
Horse.
She's more inventive than that. I hope.
She hasn't thought of it yet.
No,
That's okay.
I'm just...
Akathor.
I didn't pick a color because I don't see color because I'm not racist. But I did name him Antonio.
And
Does he belong on the cover of a Dollar Store novel?
I don't know. I don't know what novels are.
and Antonio, and we will
Dollar
say he is
Of the Banderas lineage.
Ooh.
he snorts
Yeah.
Despacito to himself as he walks.
That's my horsey.
Pretty horsey.
That's my horsey. So he's... The main color on his body is kind of a...
Chestnut.
I live with that. Oh, I want to come see the horses. It's been so long. I need just to come in and visit you guys in Skull. I haven't seen you guys in forever.
And his name is Sharkbait.
So
Sharkbait.
my
Portal
horse is brown, and towards its head and its tail it fades into black.
Okay.
Or it transitions into black. And his name is going to be...
Tune in next time for no offense. I will come back to you on the name.
Yes, please.
Shake weight?
They make shake weights for your. Never mind, you guys all know that.
Yes.
Wait, do you know that? That they make a shake weight? Yeah, you were the one who said it in
Pretty
chat,
sure I'm the
that's
one that
right.
You're the one who brought it up.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. It's too cold for sandals now. For anyone who's really bored, they do make a shake weight for your mouth. I'm not kidding. Go look it up. You're welcome.
It actually looks like you're biting on the wings.
Yeah, it's like it's great.
Gray, by the way. I just said Gray Antonio.
Gray Antonio.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's peasy. You never came up with a name. What's your name?
His name is Loris.
Loris.
Yes. And he looks like he has a crush on Antonio.
So did you say he? Because Antonio's not interested. I asked, and he's not interested.
There's an inside joke there somewhere.
She's dying laughing. I don't know.
I got nothing for anyone who got that. I'm so sorry. For anyone who doesn't get that, watch Game of Thrones, and in season 8, stop after episode 3. That's awful. I don't approve, but I do. And Parisa and Akathor, I need you guys to roll me a 6-sider.
Until our first. 1.
I picked this up before you said 1, didn't I?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I need
Stop
to go
it.
home now.
Stop it.
I swear you said 1, and then you looked at him, and then you looked at me and said 1. I need to go home and go to bed. Hold on,
You
I
are
just gotta
fun.
grab my cage number.
Wow.
Page!
Sorry.
Page
We're
number!
renting out cages now.
I want
This
in!
is cage
Wait,
number 79. Your cage is 79.
my cage number 79?
Yeah.
Who's in the other 78?
We're on cage number 1 currently.
I say that's for the
I'm in cage
progression.
17.
Give me 2 seconds here. Roll me a d4, Parisa.
4.
4?
Yeah.
Ooh!
She's trying to kill us.
Then we have Mount Benjamin. Now we rent out cages.
Nerevis is not your average game.
There's
Wait,
some
what did
weird
I...
shit
He
that
said
happens
first we
here.
have escorts, then we Mount Benjamin, now we rent out cages.
This is not your average adventure.
You know, the worst part is, if someone was to throw that out there and go, who would DM that? I think you all are going to weird near that. Parisa and Akathor, roll me perception, please.
Oh boy. Thank you.
That's your 16.
So 16.
You
Um,
realize that all of a sudden things are even quieter than usual. More quiet. It's almost as if the insects quit buzzing, birds quit chirping, and both of your horses seem a little uneasy.
Mm-hmm.
oh,
And you don't see anything, but both of you smell smoke. But it's more of a sulfur smoke, not a campfire smoke.
Are there like any trees, or are we like in an open plain?
It's forest on both sides, and then it's the trail isn't continuously groomed or anything.
It's more like a hunting trail than an actual established.
Yeah, and every once in a while you can accidentally meander onto a deer trail, and then go, oh wait, no, we need to adjust a little bit.
In that case, I'm gonna reach up and pluck a leaf.
Perfect. You have a birch leaf in your hand. There is some more openings
Which
in
way
the.
is the wind going? Sorry.
The wind is going to the west.
Okay. Is the snow coming on the wind?
Yes. Good question.
And we're heading south, correct?
Yes. You can see up ahead there is more of a craggy area where the forest from the thickness seems to break. As you guys came through here,
Mm-hmm.
the village was like right down here.
Mm-hmm.
And now that thick forest is starting to die off, and there's more craggy, rocky stuff over here.
Mm-hmm.
And the smell is coming from that direction. There's been areas where you've been able to walk the tree line and have really open areas. And you know that's largely because where the Dwarven and Loxley lands had divided.
Yep.
But this seems quite rocky. The ground is getting harder and the forest is starting to thin out.
I don't know what to make of it. I've never seen any land like this before.
This does seem rather odd.
How is Antonio handling this?
They seem skittish, but still under control. And the smell seems to be getting stronger.
Is it unnatural? Or is it
You've never
sulfur like
It doesn't
volcanic?
smell. All you know is it smells like smoke, but this doesn't smell like campfire smoke.
More like-
Parisa, you've seen nature fires and forest fires, and it doesn't even smell like that. It smells like something is burning that shouldn't be.
Now, okay, to clarify super quick,
Yeah.
my fade to nature.
Yes.
Do I have to stay still for that?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, at your level, yes.
Okay, that's kind of what I figured. I just wanted to double check.
Which Akathor has no knowledge of, so that's gonna freak him the heck out, and I can't wait to see it.
Right?
Both of you roll me one more perception quick. The horses are getting more and more uneasy. It feels like this is coming up quick.
Passive 16.
Passive 16.
How wide is this rocky area that we're looking at? I mean, is it just
It's
a break in the trees, or can we ride around this place?
It's a break in the trees, but it looks like it goes for a good half mile, almost.
I would say whatever this is, I mean, it's not normal.
Like whatever land was over here somehow is jutting into the forest.
Okay. Whatever this is not normal. Our animals should not be responding this way.
I would like to maybe go forward alone and take a look, because I can be a little more, I think I could possibly be a little more sneaky on my own.
Okay. I would also say that let's not take chances with something that we don't know, and let's just ride around this. Let's cut through your territory.
As you guys are talking, that smell is getting thicker, and I need both of you to roll animal handling.
Nice.
19.
11.
Thankfully, you have really well-trained horses. You made it by one. Good job. Parisa, your ties to nature have always given you a little bit stronger bond with animals, and you're glad for it right now.
Mm-hmm.
And both of you feel like you see something move out of the corner of your eye. But it almost looks like a wisp of smoke drifts over a rock. Drifts over a rock and then disappears behind another rock.
I would say get the heck out of here.
And let's roll initiative.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Before that happens, can I speak my weapon's name?
Do it.
Shiryu? It's been 2 weeks! Don't give me the look, I have it written down!
Sure, you can.
Shiryu.
Shiryu.
Yes.
So
So
there's that extra R in there, kind of just throws me off.
initiative in Nerevis is going to work a little bit different. I am going to have you guys roll initiative each round. It's something I've played with a little bit at the shop, and I kind of like how it works with a smaller party. So go ahead and let's get an initiative roll out of each of you.
Ladies first.
14.
20.
Nice.
I really like that DM screen, Gabs.
Oh, thanks. It's actually Thakos.
Oh,
That's
really nice.
Akathor,
Okay.
what's your dex?
Mod con
Just your straight dex.
20.
Okay, you are going first. Your dex is higher than the critters.
Okay. No chance of running away. Riding away.
You can always run. Just because you enter combat doesn't mean that you can't run away from it. You can still try to run.
What do I see?
You at this point,
Just
all you
that
guys saw was the
smoky-
smoke go behind the
How
rock.
far away is it?
It's about 30 feet from you. 30 feet to your east.
30 feet to my east.
Cut to the west.
Cutting to the west would bring us back out into dwarf territory. I was trying to get us into Loxy land. But yeah.
Actually, nope. Your west would get you back towards Loxy land, but you're still a little bit from the border.
I want to try to run. I don't know what this is.
Okay.
If it's not something I've seen before, I mean, I've been in my area and I've fought a lot of enemies, but I don't know anything about smoke.
Yeah, this doesn't seem right
So I wanna
or
run.
natural.
It's
And you watch as Parisa holds up a leaf and goes, "Shiryu," and a bow pops out from this leaf.
Dang.
It is a longbow, and it looks as if it's made of vines. Even the string on it looks like a vine. And it almost has this mystical hum to it.
Okay, that's cool. Let's get the heck out. I don't know what a bow does against smoke. I'm turning and trying to ride away in the opposite direction of it.
Okay, so you're turning and going to the west?
Yes.
Okay. I believe your horses have 50 movement.
Okay. Give me 100. Give me 100 feet over in that way.
You're double moving?
Yeah.
All right. It is not so thick that you can't get your full movement. So you are confident that you are 130 feet from whatever this thing is.
Okay.
Parisa, Akathor goes, "That's cool. That's nope." And wheels Antonio and takes off. Does the bow hum Despacito too? No, the bow hums Natural Woman. Parisa, what you gonna do?
I am.
What are you doing, Becca? I'll see. Kudzu.
I'm gonna follow
Okay.
his lead, but I am definitely watching my back.
Okay, roll me one more perception.
16.
Yeah, you're flustered enough. You don't, as you're actively looking, you really don't see much. But you could have swore as you turned your head, you thought you saw the face of a
Can I
mountain
have
lion.
it back now? Face of a mountain
You
lion.
thought you saw the face of a mountain lion, and then you're like, "Oh no, that's just a rock." And are you double moving as well?
Yes.
Okay. All right. As you go to take off, you hear 2 loud roars. And it definitely does sound like a lion.
Mm-hmm.
And the horses are freaked, but they are still under your control.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear what sounds like padded paws on the rocks behind you. Next round of initiative. Ooh. Good.
See if my boot
Parisa.
works.
12.
Your boots don't work as well. What was it?
13.
My boot luck.
And
They wore
the
off.
critters are going
It
first.
just didn't last so long.
No, if I don't have
And
it,
you
I can
see that.
Do they look like what I saw in the cave? When I was naked in front of
Yes.
my whole village.
But bigger.
Oh my, that's not good.
Like double the size.
Gotcha.
In the words of my tribe,
And they are trying to, both of them are actively chasing. It looks like they are running as quick as they can, but they appear to be a little bit slower than your horse.
Cool.
So they have closed the distance of 130 feet to, sorry, math is hard, 50 feet.
Math is hard.
What you want to do? Let's see, wait, who's next?
No.
Sorry, I lied.
Well,
Akathor, you are next.
Okay. I haven't turned and looked, so I don't see them
Yes,
chasing.
Krabby. They're smaller than the horses, but not by much. Like their back probably sits about 2 hands lower than the horses' backs.
My hands or your hands?
Hand is actually a measurement,
Right.
and your hand is closer to actual hand size.
So my hand.
I'll tell you what to do with your hands later. Sorry, I had coffee. I'm feisty now. Akathor.
Do I will turn around and as I'm riding and take a look at what's coming at us. Do I recognize them at all?
You do not, and you absolutely hear the roar.
Is it ethereal or is it?
It looks solid. It's corporeal. It looks like a mountain lion with shaggy hair around its face, but there's wisps of smoke coming out of the shaggy hair.
Okay. Am I able to cast one of my sunbolts at it?
What's the range on your sunbolts?
30. Okay. No, I'll throw a dart at it though.
Yeah, roll to hit.
At disadvantage because they're 50 feet away.
Yeah, because what's your dart range? Isn't it
It's like
It's
30.
2060.
2060?
Okay.
Okay.
Dex. That's only
thought it was
that's only going to be a 12 to hit.
12 to hit? Your dart goes whizzing by, but one of them goes, eh?
I'm gonna keep riding.
Okay. So you go another 50, so you are 100 feet from them. And Parisa, you see Akathor turn in the saddle and whip a dart and keep riding.
Are they pretty close together? Or are they like?
They're pretty close together.
Okay. I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Hail of Thorns,
Nice.
and then I am going to shoot an arrow at him, at one of them.
Shoot.
Do I get disadvantage because I'm on the back of a horse?
That's actually what I was just debating.
Skilled warriors.
No, you don't. You don't.
Because I'm using my Loxley weapon. Yes. Take that, suckers. That's going to be a 18 to hit.
That is a hit.
And then let's see here. That is nice. 12 points of damage, of piercing damage. And then
Nice.
if they are within 5 feet of each other, they both need to make a dex save.
They do. And what is the DC?
14.
14. But
3d20.
the first one fails.
Mhm.
A 6 and a 2 on the die. They both fail.
And they both take 7 points of piercing damage.
Nice. And you hear these
Did you steal my
feline
pencil?
yowls. Yeah, I did. Sorry. And Akathor, you see Parisa turn in the saddle, and her arrow just, and out of her arrow, these thorns divide out from it and just pelt these lions. And then
And then
are
I'm
you
gonna
moving?
move. Yes.
Okay. You guys are now 800 feet from them, and after your assault, the lions seem to rethink their quarry, and as the forest is getting thicker,
Mm-hmm.
Parisa, you feel the ground around you pulse, and the lions stop chasing you and turn and begin loping back towards the craggy area.
That's weird.
And you're tied to nature. Your affinity for nature.
Mm-hmm.
You felt like somehow they were unable to go further. And after about, another 30 seconds, your horses have calmed down and you both feel confident that you are no longer being pursued.
I will share that with Akathor. I don't think they could come any further. Like maybe they were tied to something. And they have a certain range that they can go.
Whatever it was, that just scared the crap out of me. I've never seen anything like that. But good job, Antonio. Who's a good boy? Oh, you're a good boy.
I'm a good boy.
Oh no, I'm a good boy.
I'm gonna take myself. Oh, crabby.
Oh my gosh.
So now have we crossed into Loxley land?
No, we were a ways away.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are quite a ways away because their
Okay.
border dips in. But you feel like you made some good ground. I mean,
That was
not quite in the direction you wanted to go, but I mean, it was, you angled, so it was.
Okay. Out of combat?
Yes, you guys are out of combat.
Phew!
So
Good thing I
you guys-
threw that dart at him and scared him away, am I right?
Yes, I'm sure that was the deciding factor.
I saw him look at it.
You guys are gonna, I'll give you a second to defrag a bit, and I'm gonna hop back to, actually I'm not yet. Both of you roll me one more 6-sider. Akathor and Parisa.
We're gonna die. That's a 1.
4.
4. Akathor?
Mm-hmm.
Was there 1?
That was a 1.
Oh, the 1?
Thanks.
You rolled the last one. You shut up.
Sharing the responsibility.
The next
Say, boy,
4
come
days go really well.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, you guys are watching, but nothing else weird, like those shadow line things, happens again. But on the 5th day, you are having problems, woman.
L2 chopstick.
On the 5th day, it starts raining hard. And we're talking torrential downpour, can't see trees 10 feet in front of you.
Turn your high beams on.
No.
That doesn't help.
Okay.
So thick that you are unable to continue traveling.
Yeah, might as well try to find shelter. It's probably a little late for that.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those storms that just comes out of, hey, I think it's gonna.
Is that looking overcasting? Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll do our best to find some sort of cover.
There isn't much. You guys do have traveling gear,
Right.
and you do have a small tent.
Mm-hmm.
Unless, Parisa, Eric, and Rogith, I'm going to be with you in a moment. Shrimp and cream cheese is a really good combination, just FYI.
I want to try something interesting.
Okay,
I want to use locate animals or plants
okay.
to search for a specific type of like fungus that only grows in caves. If that's
And what's the
possible.
range on that?
5 miles.
Damn. Well, of course. Yeah. I was gonna say it would ping for the craggy area we were just at, I'm sure, but
We're 4 days out. It's
oh, that's right. We went for 4 days. Okay.
Hopefully you're more than 5 miles away.
I am.
God, these horses are born off their ass. About a quarter mile to the south. You feel it.
okay.
And with that, you are able to find a very, very
These are steamboat
large
horses.
cave. And by very large, I mean it's big enough your horses can walk into the overhang, and then it narrows further back. You do not see the back of the cave. However, roll me perception. Akathor, you can roll perception too if you'd like.
Nat
I
20.
don't want to go in the cave.
You don't want to go in the cave? You want to sit out in the freaking rain? Weirdo.
26.
You know what big caves like that mean? Big animals.
Speaking of big animals, you're pretty sure that a bear inhabits this cave, but he's not home at the moment.
He's not home at the moment.
You can tell that there's bear signs, but they are
That means
over
poop.
a week old.
Okay.
That's what bear signs means. It means there's poop.
Or it's a piece of wood that has nothing written on it.
That was good. Advantage on one roll of your brain. Keep talking to me like that, baby. He's unaffected. It's like having the charm spell and it's good for absolutely nothing.
I have a psychic Pokemon.
I have charm as a cantrip and it doesn't work on you. Maybe it's a good thing. They're barely there. Krabby, I love you. Alright, I'm gonna leave the two of you alone in a cave. Phil in the background from the back of the cave. How about now?
Shut up, Phil. Get your own game.
Phil's just wandering around. Alright, Rogath and Eric. It is the next morning at the Cuthbert estate. And bright and early, breakfast is served. And you are there's definitely a dinner triangle. Or a breakfast triangle, I guess, in this case. Eric, you, before that triangle even goes off, Arya's like waking you up.
I was going to say, if both of her wings work, that's one hell of a job.
No,
This is a wonderful world that heals birds fast. Yeah, so I will get dressed and clean off.
Okay.
Steroid Junkie, thank you very much for the follow.
Hey, thank you.
Hello.
Good to have you here.
You got eyeballs? As I lose my voice,
Right?
Rogath, you hear the breakfast triangle go off.
All right. I will actually get all my stuff together and head down to the dinner table. As it
You
were.
want to ban the troll, please?
No,
What?
just take care of what you guys are taking
Okay.
care of. I got it.
So I'm gonna head down to the dinner table
Okay.
and give my greetings to
Lord and Lady Cuthbert?
yes.
Absolutely. So you go ahead
And
and
my
you,
blessings as well.
I'm sorry, what?
And my blessings as well.
They are, very accommodating. They tell you they are just waiting for the other traveler to head on down to the breakfast table and figure out basically what to do from here. Benjamin tells you in no uncertain terms that, this seems like more than normal happenstance.
Mm-hmm.
That there's two of you at the same time that are in this area, and especially with you being God-touched.
Well, I suppose I can wait around for whoever this is to come down. In the meantime, did you happen to find any information about those slugs? Any correlation?
Ah, yes, I did in fact. And he, scoots some dishes, still with food on them, aside and lays out a parchment and shows you that on this map where the sightings for the acidic sludges have been, and then also states that within 24 hours, there's been an ogre attack of some nature.
So the slugs happen first and then the ogres attack.
Yes.
Oh, that's
And
not
because
good.
you had just seen those, less than a day's ride out,
No, man.
Give him a chance.
Okay.
are you kidding me?
Honey,
So you said less than a day's not like yeah, that thing, yes. Days right out.
Less than a day's ride out.
Mm-hmm.
And he's really concerned for the surrounding area and the surrounding villages. And asks if, depending on what the other traveler is looking at,
Mm-hmm.
if you guys want to take a few days and ride the perimeter of the estate and its boundaries around the fort, just as an extra precaution.
That might not be a bad idea. Do you have sufficient defenses here for your folk?
Yes. Yes, we do. Both physical and magical. We have stayed close with the fort, and we frequently have...
You said the fort's about an hour away, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Between 1 and 2 hours, depending on travel, weather.
Okay. Well, I will take your advice, and I will probably travel the perimeter. But first, I'd like to meet this stranger that you talked about.
Yeah, speaking of this stranger, you coming down to breakfast or not?
I figured I did.
You head down and you see the traveler from last night. And now you can see his eyes and their oddities.
After what I've just been through,
I was seeing stranger stuff.
you have no idea.
I have to stop and think now. Rogath, you again feel that your pally senses tingle a little bit, not in an evil sense, but in a, you feel like your deity is
Gotcha. Saying.
arranged this meeting. And then,
Yeah. Speaking of which, what do I see?
yeah, Eric, what does he see?
You see an average-looking human.
Kill him.
Fireball!
I'm 5'11", 165 pounds, long brown hair, brown eyes, tan. I look like I've spent too much time out in the woods.
Okay.
And I'm carrying a raven that's kind of bandaged in my hands.
Oh, okay.
Plus I'm wearing a really long cloak with a rapier underneath it. And a bow slung across my shoulders.
Greetings.
Morning.
My name is Rogath.
Pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. What's your name?
My name
Yes,
is...
Krabby, all the fireballs.
No, fireballs.
I'm called Eric.
Pleased to meet you, Eric. These folks were just telling me about a correlation between a creature that I saw on the road and some ogre attacks. And they were suggesting that I might patrol the perimeter just to
Welcome home,
make sure that everything is more secure. If you care to come along after breakfast.
How long will it take for you to gather up a mount and whatnot for me to catch up to your son?
A mountain.
I'm assuming William's about 2 days out from here, assuming that the weather is held with the caravan. I can get you a mount at any time. What I was thinking as you were speaking is maybe all three of us will go catch up to the caravan, as they would have taken the same road that you saw the sledges on. But they would have taken a slightly different route further out to return to Silas. I can make the introductions myself, and I'll send my men to patrol the other directions, and I will take the north.
If it's of no inconvenience to anyone, that's fine by me.
Absolutely.
I see your bird is injured there. Mind if I take a look at it?
Don't eat it.
And it does the whole, and then kind of pecks at the symbol on your hand, like tink, tink. And yeah, Eric, that definitely stands out.
Well,
And yeah, Eric, you, that definitely stands out.
I,
I'm gonna try to cast Cure Wounds on it.
Aww. Okay. Go ahead and roll healing.
Okay.
Oops, that's Searing Smite.
Whoops.
Tiger ball.
You just invented KFC.
KFR, Kentucky Fried Raven.
Oh,
Ooh, okay.
that is one healed bird.
Let's see. Yeah.
Well, now it's mega bird.
9 points of healing.
9 likes horses.
Nice. 9 does like horses. Especially Pixie and Brutus and Horse.
And Antonio.
She hasn't met Antonio yet, but she'd love him too.
She would like Antonio.
She would. I said that to myself.
Okay, bird. 9 hit points.
Bird. Bird is the word.
The
And
bird
you
felt
watch
bad.
as she begins to flap both her wings. And it does work. Roguth, roll
There was an
me a wisdom save.
Is that you?
Oh.
Shut up, Val.
12?
There's some invented bird last session. Rabby.
Polymorph.
Sorry, what was your wisdom save?
12.
12. For the briefest moment, you knew Cure Wounds, and you're holding the bird, and you feel your divine magic flow into the bird, and you feel the healing being restored to the wings. For the briefest moment, there's this flash of light in your mind's eye, and you see the silhouette of a woman.
Whoa.
And then it's almost like you blink, and you thought you saw something that it wasn't there.
No, you're right.
Odd.
But
And she flies and flutters. She kind of does this kind of wing to the side of your head like a thank you pet. Oh, weird. And then flies over and lights on your shoulder, Eric.
And then poops.
You're not there. There's reasons you're not there. And that's one of them.
So apparently I parked my car underneath a bird last night, and there was like literally like a splotch like that big.
No,
like,
that's not a bird. That is like,
There's a rock.
that took effort.
Albatross.
It was a griffin.
Oh no, I mean like it was
Oh,
10
God.
different splotches, but I was like it was covered an area like that big.
You park under a nest, or
Maybe, I don't know. I parked where I normally park in front of my house.
Kraken bird.
Okay.
I'm just going to.
if it was a desert.
I guess I have a new friend.
and when you say that, it does one of these, and you could roll insight.
Inciting a
A
bird?
bird.
Wow.
Yes.
Uber.
Okay. I'm an
Oh,
insight.
you are.
I am the bird whisperer.
You're the bird
Is
whisperer.
that a 20?
23.
When you say new friend, the bird looks sad.
What would you rather me call
You
you?
hurt its feelings.
And it just kind of leans her head against you and does one of these, like, nuzzles almost.
Oh,
You
okay.
can stay
That
with
was not emotion.
Yeah, animals don't have emotion.
Not an emotion.
Ugh. Sorry, people that think that are stupid. Not my opinion, fact, just saying. Moving on.
I'm sorry, say that one more time?
Not my opinion, that's fact. Moving on.
What's a fact?
Animals have feelings and emotions, and if you say otherwise, you're an idiot.
I didn't say that they don't.
I didn't say you did. I'm just saying that as a general, like,
What is
let's
going
get
on
that
here?
ground
Defending
rule out
everybody.
of the way.
I know, right?
Animals are cute.
I got like 2 hours of sleep, you guys!
They're really good in Blue Guy Pan, too.
Okay. Krabby, save me.
He just
He
did.
just did. Emotion.
So, I'm ready to leave whenever you are. I'm, as you can see, at light.
You also, speaking of which, and Mrs. Cuthbert comes back out and has a traveler's pack, and it has a spare. Excuse me.
Is it a spare?
Spare traveling clothes, a wool blanket, some handmade wool socks,
What? Oh, handmade wool sock?
and
No,
your
this is
satchel of finances are in there as well. And how much gold did you start out with? You said 270.
237 gold and 100 silver.
Okay, so the 237 gold is now. Okay, there was a little bit lost in the conversion. 205. And the silver, you said was
Even. 100.
100 even. There's 90.
Inflation.
I won't complain. It's money in my pocket.
Oh, and speaking of which, what do I owe for my stay here?
Absolutely nothing. It is an honor to have a paladin of Marasa staying at our estate.
Oh, the honor is mine.
Okay.
And you
Mental note.
Mental note. That's right. They don't know that you don't know anything.
And as you can see, I'm playing it off well.
I'm really proud. You know what's really nice to have you in a campaign where you really don't know anything. I shouldn't be so happy with it. I feel like the intermarital conflict is coming up there. Like, that's right, you don't know anything. Just kidding. You're very insightful and I'm proud of you and I love you. Moving on.
Yeah, you can read the emotions of a bird. My goodness. Dudes are freaking.
I'm not a bird.
Tell me. Tell myself with my pencil.
Healing hands or whatever you just did on there.
You're a woman.
What?
Why would you do
I
that?
didn't do it on purpose.
Okay.
Alright, so the horses are out front. It takes no time to mount up and head in the direction. The green sludges are still there. You guys ride out for a couple hours, and sure enough, 50 feet away, you can see them. Although you don't see the heads raised up, you just see that bubbling green, sludgy.
I'm going to do what I do best.
Are you really? Why? Why do you have to? You mark that ball bearing off.
I have marked all of them off.
By the time this is over, you will be rid of that entire bag.
Oh no, because I know how to replace them.
I would like to resign as DM of the campaign as long as he has ball bearings.
I only have 983 left.
Only 900.
Fine, I'll trade
I mean,
you Eric
today's
for
the
Nilo.
second session and
Oh,
you've
heck
gone
no.
through two, so that's
That's
only going to
what I
last for so
thought.
long.
I'm just going to lob the ball bearing into the puddle and see what happens.
As you lob it, hold on.
Yeah, I'm loading. Please wait.
Thank you for holding.
Yeah, no
Your
kidding.
call is important to us.
Your combat is important to us. Please wait.
I ran away from my first combat.
Well, we're specifically heading out to kill things, so.
Your ball bearing disappears in the sludge, and as he goes, doop,
Does
And as
does it respond like water, though? I mean, does it do the
it's
whole...
thick water,
squish?
like more like gelatin. And as it hits, you watch 4 heads, and by heads I mean like, think like live, squishy, acidic pool noodles.
Ew.
I know exactly what that is.
Are they actually about that big?
Gross.
Okay.
Are they, so they're
I'm not there.
2-3 inches in diameter?
They're about. Oh no, they're bigger than that. They're about. They're like the 6-inch forearms.
Yes.
So I'm going to take some salt.
No.
And all 4 heads start going.
I'm over here, you dummies.
Roll initiative.
We're a significant distance away from them.
How far can you throw your ball bearings?
Assuming they're
I mean,
going to
I-
be similar, they're assuming they're similar to the dart, I would say 20 to 40.
Okay, I was gonna say I assumed you guys were 40 feet out.
Yeah, I was going to toss some table salt at him.
Okay, I roll.
What'd you get?
I rolled an 18 initiative. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I rolled an 18. I get advantage.
Because you're fancy.
Alright, hold
Oh,
on.
Oh.
Eric. Rogus.
We're using, she allowed me
Oh.
to take some of the revised ranger stuff.
That's right.
Not all of it. Because some of it she's like, "Mm." One of the
Right,
things I got.
so you
out
said
of it.
18,
Yes,
Eric?
yes.
Alright, Rogus.
21.
Nice.
And Benjamin.
Got a 2.
And the worm's got a 2. You said 2, and my die was 2!
I agree. 2 is a good number.
Alright, so going first is actually Rogus.
I'm going to take some of the salt that you used for traveling salt.
Yeah.
And I'm going to...
Go ahead. I'll make it explode.
Okay.
Oh dear lord. Are you really? So you're throwing the bag of salt, and you're gonna shoot the bag of salt.
So it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Roll to hit, Rogus.
With a bag of salt. Damn!
What do I add to that?
Dex.
Dex? Okay, so that would be a 23.
Was that a 20?
No, that was a 19.
And hold your arrow, Eric. Because next up is Benjamin Cuthbert, who dismounts. Said hold your arrow, not poop at the table.
But I'm constipated.
Well, that explains a lot. I love you. I'm not sure why you stay with me, but I love you. I'm not sure why you guys keep coming back either. And Benjamin Cuthbert comes up, flicks up a throwing knife, or sorry, not throwing knife, a hand axe, and whips it at these sludges. And hits one square in the center, cleaving it in half. And there's now 3 heads. He literally just picks it out of his belt and goes. And it goes. And Eric rolled a.
Okay, 15.
15?
14. Sorry.
14.
14.
That is enough to hit this bag of salt and have it explode. As the salt rains down on this green acidic gobbledygook, it starts to hiss a little bit.
Oh, hold on.
I'm holding.
I get advantage.
Why?
Advantage on first turn versus creatures that have not acted.
You know what? Just do your stupid thing. I love you.
Is the bag of salt a creature? Oh!
It's an intent to. I'm not going to be that kind of DM. Those
I only
DMs
rolled
need to be
one.
slapped.
I only rolled 1 higher.
I mean, in the back of your mind, you hear "Let It Go" as this cloud of white goes.
Shut up, Elsa!
The salt falls right on the sludge tonight.
I shoot it again.
And it explodes. I mean, it not explodes, but the bag explodes, rains down, and it doesn't seem like it's really doing damage, but it seems like it disorients them.
Okay.
They have my ball bearing. Let's kill them.
They have my salt.
Your
You have my ball bearing. You have my ball bearing.
You have my salt.
I don't think they want the salt back.
oh!
I You just see Eric digging through for his ball bearing, and you're just like scooping salt back into the bag.
As Arya flaps up from your shoulder, and you watch her flip down,
No.
grab a rock,
No.
And fly
You just
over
got done-
them.
You just got done healing. Get back
and
here.
lets it go,
That's more than 6 words.
and it pings off one of their heads.
She got a good aim.
You're a stubborn bird.
She chitters at you.
You can argue with me all you want. I'm true.
And next round, or no, it's their turn. Just kidding, I lied. They move. The 3 remaining ones move 20 feet towards you. And they're now 20 feet away. Next round of initiative, and they're not doing much better.
Yeah, I did a little worse.
I did a lot better.
Ben's not doing a lot either. Rogus,
10.
Eric,
22.
you are going first, Eric. Now you just watched Arya drop a rock on them.
Because I'm not sure and I'm a little bit scared of this idea, I am going to lob a dart at these things.
Okay, roll to hit. Akathor and Farisa, thank you for your patience.
I miss.
They were patient for us.
I miss by lots. I
What'd you
rolled a
roll?
7.
Yeah, you're so distracted watching Arya that you throw and the arc follows her instead of the things, but it doesn't
Down here,
got anywhere near her. And she chitters.
Oh shit.
She chitters at you again, like, you idiot.
Get out of the way!
It is then Benjamin Cuthbert who takes out his second hand axe and whips it again. And while it's not as effective as the first, it does soundly hit.
That's what I was trying to do with my little dart.
Show up.
And it hits the same one that Arya's rock hit, and that one's looking really confused. He's kind of doing this, like,
You
periscope
brained it.
twirl. And it has a very large gash in it.
Oh,
Rogus.
man. Now it's got salt in that wound too.
That's why we did it.
Ugh.
I'm going to take my javelin
Yep,
and give it a toss.
a toss.
Yes.
Roll to hit.
Be a good tosser. 13.
Benjamin's a tosser.
13? Hit? Not quite. Okay.
Your javelin goes just shy of the pile. It is then their turn, and they move up
I was
to
gonna say I was gonna
engage.
back
Oh,
up.
you're gonna back up?
Yep.
Okay, how far are you backing up? You guys are
Okay,
roughly
I
20
think-
feet from them.
Being that they approached about 20 feet, I'm going to back up 30 feet.
Okay,
I would. Never mind. I didn't think about it, so never mind.
okay.
He's busy fighting the bird.
They
I'm
move
here with Arya.
No.
20 feet forward, and the injured one. It's rolling at disadvantage. The injured one, with its head flopping around, goes to strike out at Benjamin and hits the back of the head of the second one.
Whack. Oops.
The second one is angered and turns around and bites the injured one, killing it. That was 2 ones back to back for what it was worth. And the third one goes to lash out at you, Eric, and completely misses. By a long shot. Eric, you do notice that as they moved, this pool of sludge has kind of been following along behind them.
Ew.
And as it passed over Rogus' javelin, the wood has this sizzle to it.
That's what I was looking to figure out with my dart.
Yeah, I mean, you can see your dart didn't hit him close enough, sorry, but you got your answer.
Mhm.
And next round of initiative. Oof. They are rolling absolute crap for initiative.
Well, it can't be any worse than that roll.
They got a 5.
Hi.
Eric, you better than a 5.
I did better than a 5. I got a 19.
You are going first again, Eric.
I'm going to dismount,
Okay.
and I'm going to look at the horse and be like, shoot.
The horse
Yep, shoot.
backs up.
And as I dismount, I am going to loose my rapier and go for one of them critters. Ooh.
Ouch.
Ooh.
You go to swing at one of the critters, and it misses. It goes over its head and puts you at an awkward angle, so its next attack against you will have advantage.
Whew.
Ouchie.
It does happen. You got salt in your eye.
I did.
Eric, anything else out of you?
Ooh.
A little bit of cursing.
You hear
That's your fault, Bird.
You hear a good-natured chuckle coming from Benjamin, as he also dismounts, waves his horse back, and takes out a mace and just attempts to brain the very confused one, and thumps it on the head into the head of the other one. That's 2 crits for him. The second one is dead. The third one is badly wounded, and the fourth one's like, guys, what the hell?
I'm losing people. What's going on?
I don't see why you have such high admiration.
And going next,
What I don't understand is she's rolling the same dice for all of these things. So Benjamin is getting all these 20s.
yeah, Arya has swung around and picked up another rock and goes to, drop it.
I said drop it.
And she
Badass bird.
brains another one.
Nat 20.
No, not a nat 20, but it's enough to that makes you feel like it's helping draw their attention away instead of on you. Rogan, you are up, followed by the acid worms.
Okay, I'm gonna take one of my other javelins and give it a toss.
It's going to eat that.
Well, crap. Alright, and dismount and pull out my great axe.
Okay. You are 30 feet away from them.
Actually, no. I'm pulling out my crossbow instead.
Okay.
And I'm gonna shoot one with a bolt.
Alright, roll to hit.
Oh, that's better. That would be a dirty 20.
That is a hit. Roll damage.
Let's see. Where am I here? So that would be 7.
7?
Mm-hmm.
Which one were you aiming for? The injured one or the not injured one?
The injured one.
Kaput. You now have 1 left. It is its turn, and it is going to lash out at Eric at advantage,
Psychic high five.
and completely misses you twice. And the second one just missed you,
Because I was stumbling from overcommitting to this game.
and that's pretty much what it is. All right, last round of initiative.
Okay, so this
14.
Okay.
Ooh, sorry, what was it?
14.
Okay. Rogus.
11.
7-11.
Eric, you are going first.
Out of 14?
Yeah.
Your dice are cursed.
Mother of God.
Did you just get another 1?
No, I got a 2.
You're slowly going up.
In 15 more rounds, I will hit this thing.
You know, better this, though, than some of the other stuff you're going to encounter.
Benjamin's gonna think I'm a liar.
I mean, even Trogdor's
I
like, I
thought
saw that!
So what kind of stories are you
Anything
telling?
else out of you, Eric?
You know, I'm... Are any of the rocks that Erebus has dropped near me?
No, they're kind of in the sludge.
Melting.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try something stupid then. I
Oh,
wanna kick it.
roll to hit.
What? So we wanna drop face first into it. That would be a 15 to hit.
That is a hit.
Just scrape the slime off my boot toe.
That'd be 3 damage. Or no,
I see. I just
yeah, 3
strength to that.
damage.
Or no, yeah.
It's 1 plus strength mod.
Why is it 1 plus strength mod?
Because it's an
Oh yeah,
unarmed,
just kidding, just
unweaponed
kidding, just
attack.
kidding, just
You
kidding.
just should have rolled the d4 is all.
That's,
It just ended up being the
I
same
just
thing.
stopped.
Yeah.
So, 3
That's
damage.
what threw me. I thought there was something else going on with Eric, and I was like, eh.
Nope, I
Okay.
discounted the die after
Yep.
I rolled it.
Rogan, you are actually next.
Oh, okay. I'm going
Slow
to
ass
shoot again.
With your crossbow?
Yeah.
Crossbow, you'd have to reload.
Oh, that's right. Never mind then. I'm going to drop it and pull out my. I'll just pull out my great axe.
Okay. Gonna run up and hit it.
Yep.
Roll to hit.
Oh, that's rather nice. 23.
That is definitely a hit, but just today.
That'd be a 1 and a 12. Yes. $11.
How do you do it?
Do one of those around my head type of things, and around the back.
You chop the head right off, and it goes and goes face down on Eric's errant dart.
Aww.
I found your dart.
It's worthless now.
Arya flies down and re-lands on your shoulder, Eric.
Silly bird, you're gonna get yourself hurt. Again.
Chitters at you.
Clean off my war axe.
Yeah, and I mean, it's the acid from these things is very slow.
Mhm.
You feel like if you were to wipe it off right away, you'd be okay.
No etching for the blade.
I will go and retrieve my ball bearing.
Yeah, you can.
Thank you.
How's my?
Don't give in to that. Don't give in to that terroristic demand.
He spent time with me today. He can have whatever the hell he wants.
I'll buy you more ball bearings.
I only need 16 more.
Never mind, I won't.
Don't get into that terroristic stuff.
You guys are able to get your weapons and ammo back undamaged.
Oh, nice.
Benjamin giggles and kind of claps you on the back of the shoulder, Eric. Ugh. These things are slippery little devils, aren't they?
No, I'm just out of it from whatever happened to me.
And he just kind of smiles and nods. At least you're honest.
I used to hunt the undead. Now you'd wonder if I could hunt a rat.
Perfect. We're out of combat. We are going to wrap up for the evening. I should have some really super witty cliffhanger scheduled, and I don't tonight, but I'm also going off 2 hours of sleep, so thank you everyone for your indulgence. Let's see, tomorrow.
Tomorrow is Sand and Magic, where I'm going to kill my players.
Woo! Tomorrow is Sand and Magic with DM Thaco. Wednesday is Curse of Strahd with me, DMLoxy. We are doing I'm getting there, unless you want to announce it.
No, I was making sure you remembered.
I just don't throw off my... You threw off the Empress's groove!
I'm sorry, but you've thrown off the Empress's groove.
Don't throw off the groove!
Beware of the groove!
This is why I keep you guys. Wednesday's theme for Curse of Strahd is librarians and secretaries. Thank you, chat. You come up with such wonderful ideas. Can't wait to see how that... What?
Hey, he's not mine again.
Yay, I'm a llama again.
Can't wait to see how that plays out. Also, Wednesday night, we will be doing our second ticket giveaway for DuluCon. We have a VIP ticket, a regular ticket, and some tokens. So tune in, hang out, win some tickets, have fun. Next Saturday, we'll announce later, correct, Thaco? Perfect. All right. As always, be safe. Have a great night, everyone, and we will see you tomorrow.
Night.
Bye.
Good night. 1 and then 9.
9. 1 9?
Or 9-1, either way.